One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet who millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay. So I don't take lightly the call. Sorry, guys, I'm a little nervous. Guys. I've been waiting for this moment this whole life, my whole life. I need patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl? I need patience over here. Hold on. How you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to change these 4 years? No. Are we ready to change the next 8 years? Because we're going to make sure we have Kamala Harris in office for 8 years. Thank you. I believe in every word that comes out of her mouth. She's passionate, she's compassionate, she shows empathy, and most of all, she is not delusional. Yeah. Kamala recognized that this country is at risk, that the economy needs to get stronger, that the cost of food and the cost of living is too high. Damn, it's even high for me. I believe her when she says, under her, buying eggs and milk won't break the bank. Because she's gonna...
I'm sorry. After going through basically 2 nights with no sleep, Robin gave me this funky little thing that the Hollywood stars use to make their eyes don't look puffy anymore. So I've been wearing this for the last hour or so to get ready for my Hollywood scene. Since Hollywood seems to be what it matters now. You know, getting ready for your Oscar, your close-up. You know, so I'm just gonna put this on, and I'm gonna sit back and let you hear the insanity of some of these people in Hollywood, because my gosh, this is what's going to elect somebody. Somebody who makes a song about her wet blank putty. Somebody who's made videos about how she has taken men into hotel rooms and tricked them into thinking they were getting a goodie time, and she robbed them. You know, those kind of Hollywood stars. So let you continue listening to her. I'm going to basically put this eye pack back on my eyes.
Pass a ban on price gouging on groceries. And she told me that in my face. So she better not lie to me in my face.
Hi, you guys. Hi, Avengers.
Hi.
Thank you
Hey,
for
Scarlett.
jumping on the call.
Whoa. I think you mean assembling. I said assembling.
Don, that's pretty good.
No, they thought it was funny.
Scarlett, it is our pleasure to come together and to get the vote out this election. Come on.
Yeah, how can we be of service?
Well, how about we start with what our voting plans are going to be, who we're going to bring to the polls with us, that sort of thing. Just to,
I think Kamala Harris needs a catchphrase.
Ooh, yes.
What you're seeing is a movie. Everything about the Kamala Harris campaign is a movie. It is a mirage. It's an illusion, the grand illusion, the royal scam, all wrapped up together. And these people, especially like Cardi B, says she's going to make sure we take care of prices. And I'm like, does anybody want to go tap her on the shoulder and let her know that Kamala Harris is the vice president? When she called up her assistant because I can't talk, I need to have a phone. Okay, so Kamala Harris is a great person. She's awesome. And I mean every single word I say. That's written on this, phone that I'm reading right now that my assistant, who also has a wet blank putty, has handed me. You have to wonder at this point, what kind of people listen to this gibberish? Who are the Democrats in the audience? Who's falling for this crap? I mean, this thing with the Avengers, we got the real Avengers. These guys are the make-believe Avengers. Robert Downey Jr., I'm sorry that you had to lose your role to the actual guy you've been portraying, Elon Musk. But, oh my gosh, these people are just beyond the pale.
It's definitely a catchphrase.
How about this? I'm just off the top of my head. I can do this all day. Shut up.
I hate it.
Okay.
I mean, it's original, but
What about something punchier like,
Ooh, boom. You looking for this?
Iron Man 2, everybody loved it.
okay, again, I think we're just trying to get out the vote.
Kamala forever.
That's better.
Okay, how about I'm down with democracy? It's just clean, it's simple.
Okay, I like that.
It's hard to argue with that.
Kamala Harris down with democracy.
Okay, you should have cut it right there, because we all know that's what you really mean. Down with democracy, in with communism and Marxism. But not us. We make millions of dollars. We're above all the other people, right? You're not going to take 50 or 60% or 70% of our money. We're trying to help you get elected. I guess they don't know how communism works.
Oh, yeah. I'm Kamala Harris, and I say down with democracy.
They actually put this out. If you haven't seen this, you're enjoying a treat right now. That they actually came out there and said, down with democracy. Somebody somewhere who gets paid a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars to create campaigns, to create strategy, decided they were going to have these nimrods come out and tell you, down with democracy. That just sounds fantastic.
I don't know if that sounds the way we want it to sound, though.
I think we just can we get some production though?
Jarvis?
My name's not Jarvis, but whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right. Down with democracy.
Down with democracy.
Is that what we mean, though?
Yeah, together we're going to tear down democracy.
Will you stop playing heroic music under yourselves?
I'm Kamala Harris, and I am down with democracy.
Yeah, somebody paid them for that. Somebody put together that production to underscore down with democracy. They made light of it. But in, certain circles, that's called a disclosure. A soft disclosure, you can say. Sort of like wearing a panda outfit to a Halloween party, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. Speaking of soft disclosures, which isn't too much of a soft disclosure.
It sound enough like her on that one?
That was great. How many Golden Globes have you been nominated for? I'm just curious.
Yes! All right, that was awesome.
I mean, who wants 4 more years of what they're selling us?
I don't think they understand that she's the one in office. So you just said, who wants 4 more years of this? So you just got paid or decided to come out here and you're telling people you don't need 4 more years of Kamala. Who needs 4 more years of this? You're exactly right. Trump should put that into a campaign spot. Who the hell wants 4 more years of this? Whew. These people are brain dead, or whoever told them to say this stuff.
It's hatred. It's division. It's loss. It's despair. It's a drag.
I'm pretty sure most of you, I'm really confident that I could have designed a much better campaign than the Harris one that's being run right now. These people truly have no clue. You're seeing the empty vapidness of Hollywood. They have no self-awareness. They don't even understand that normal people look at them going, dude, you hear what you're saying? You might want to go back into that little box we call a television or something, because outside of that box, you have no clue. You really do. You're talking about the person who is in office. Obviously, you think about it, she needed some sort of script writer because nobody cared about her. Nobody thought she was even viable. She didn't get 1 single vote. So you actually have to realize and understand this was the only thing they could do, was basically create an entire script on how to run a campaign. And then basically for the last 4 days, gaslight everybody into thinking you've written an Oscar-worthy performance. We're getting to the point now where the nominations are in, and the nominations are these people who think they're putting in Golden Globe Academy Award performances. Insane.
Downer, we ain't going back. No way. We ain't going back. And that's just the truth of things. And no matter how hard they want to take you back, you just can't go back.
You notice what all of these people have in common here. These are high-paid Hollywood actors. Highly paid. Robert Downey Jr., Don Cheadle, Scarlett Johansson, Cardi B, she makes millions on her records, Mark Ruffalo. They all are just huge, huge stars. Yet none of them can speak from the heart. None of them can speak with passion. I've been talking for, a little over 10 minutes right now in between what they're saying, and there's no script. I can hold my thought and speak. If I believed that Kamala Harris was truly a better candidate than Donald Trump, I could tell whoever I was standing in front of. Wouldn't even need teleprompter 1. Wouldn't need phone. Wouldn't need a note. I could just run with it, riff. These people can't do that. It's all scripted.
And we did it once. It sucked. Understatement. How bad did it suck? Real bad. I mean, he tried to get us to inject bleach in our veins.
Told you these people were stupid.
He wanted us to stick light bulbs up our...
And their audience is believing all this stuff.
He tried to enforce a Muslim ban, like his great big idea. First thing he does when he gets in office. He shuts down our government, costing us billions of dollars, putting so many people out of work.
Oh, you may want to go look at that from Joe Biden's perspective. Because, as soon as Trump started doing things, we were wide open here in Florida.
He sparked an uptick in hate crimes. Murder went up in 2020 being the highest uptick in murder on record.
2020. Who was president in 2020? I mean, just saying. January, 20th, 21st, Biden took over, and he says murders went up in 2020? Okay. I told you, their audience is stupid.
America suffered over 1,700 mass shootings. When Hurricane Maria hit, this fool delayed $20 billion of aid and let Puerto Rico go without power for 181 days. This is the shit we forget.
Notice they don't say anything about the economy, and they just completely gaslight these people.
It was a nightmare. We don't remember this because it was a nightmare. We don't want to remember the bad.
How about what we're living through right frickin' now? I don't know where this dude is from. He probably lives in LA or something. But ask the people up in Asheville, how the government taking care of them right now. Don't have to even go back in history. Just go back about a month or two and say how these people are doing. Or how about how much money you offered them to get back with their lives? $750.
We're not going back. This is the man who said there's very fine people among the packed house of Nazis in Charlottesville.
See, these talking points that they're given, it is nothing about reality. Nothing about reality. All they do is spew crap. Stuff that's even been debunked by Snopes. Even Jake Tapper has come out and said, yeah, that was a lie. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be another one. I'm waiting for Project 2025 to come up.
You want to talk about anti-Semitism? Let's talk about anti-Semitism. The Nazis love Trump, okay? They love him. We don't love Nazis. We hate Nazis. Okay? We're against Nazis, right?
Now understand what he's saying there. If Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and the entire campaign has said that you and me are Nazis and fascists, he is telling this audience, you must hate Trump supporters. It goes hand in hand. If you hate Nazis, then you must hate Trump supporters. Again, if you watch the script and what they're trying to do, it makes all the sense in the world.
I mean, we can agree on that? We are the party of love.
Oh, okay, you're the party of love. Now watch this one with Jennifer Lopez. And you can look at her face. And there's two things with her face. Some people told me she was acting. Of course she's acting. The other part of it with me is, it looks like a hostage video. It looked like somebody stuck a gun to her head and said, read this. Again, read this. You can't memorize literally a minute and a half she's going to be talking. A minute and a half she's going to be talking. And she has to read it on a giant teleprompter.
I promised myself I wouldn't get emotional. But you know what? We should be emotional. We should be upset. We should be scared and outraged. We should. Our pain matters. We matter.
Did the pain of all the kids that got, interacted with Diddy matter? Oh, yeah. Tell us about those tears. Tell us about that pain. I know the people here won't let me expound upon that, but Diddy did it. And you were with Diddy. And you don't seem to be talking at all about that. There hasn't been one video, not one single tweet, nothing. You haven't even talked about what happened with some of the people at the Diddy parties. Why is that? Why are you not emotional about that? We all can act. Some of us get paid more than others to do so. But funny, that script isn't in front of you. And why is it that all of the people who hung out with the Diddy boy are Kamala supporters.
You matter. Your voice and your vote matters. And look, don't be afraid to make people around you uncomfortable. Invite people around.
Oh, we know you haven't had a problem making people feel uncomfortable. We know that. We've heard some of the stories, J-Lo. You don't mind making people feel uncomfortable.
To be the change, to go out there and vote. Nobody likes having tough conversations or talking about politics, but trust me.
Just imagine, she is put out there, the first woman who talks about her wet blank putty, and now we're talking to a woman that she's out there as a role model who's been married, 19 and a half times to 375 different men who, I'm just saying. Is that the person, the Diddy party guest, the woman who's been married and divorced all over the place, is this the one that you really want to trumpet out there? No pun intended.
I've been in some of these rooms. I see the way
Oh, you've been in some of those rooms.
power works in this country. They love it when you do nothing.
Oh, yeah, they do, don't they? Tell us the sordid details. Tell us.
Okay? A non-vote is an agreement. It just makes...
So when you didn't speak out about the atrocities that are being alleged, does that mean you were in agreement? I mean, because again, you have not made a video, you have not put out a tweet, you've done nothing against the alleged stuff that you were allegedly involved in. I've seen the pictures. I've seen the pictures. But, you don't talk about that.
It's easier for them to do whatever they want, whatever serves them. And this election is about your life. It's about you and me and my kids and your kids. Don't make it easy. Make them pay attention to you. That's your power. That's your power. Your vote is your power.
And the Oscar goes to...
I rest my case. I put that together for your enjoyment this morning because, damn, devil damn, these people are gonzo. They're nuts. They have no self-awareness. They have no idea. They live in a bubble, obviously, and they can speak to you with feigned look. The emotion of these my kids... but not your kids, and not Diddy kids. My kids matter. And, this vote right now that we need you to do and we need you to have, it'll keep my ass out of jail because I just can't admit to the public what exactly is going on. Want proof? You want proof that you've been living through a mirage, a scam, an illusion? You want proof? I mentioned this yesterday. Get a look at this.
While Harris campaigns in Wisconsin, President Biden was hundreds of miles away talking to union workers in Philadelphia at an official event. Tonight, Fox News has learned multiple campaign calls that were publicly advised on the president's schedule for yesterday afternoon were canceled as he faces continuing fallout over his garbage comment on a Zoom earlier this week.
You fired the president of the United States, the man you always say you were last in the room with. He is astute. He's on it. He's one of the brightest people you've ever met. He is so good. And now he's so fired. Joe, skedaddle. Mark Cuban. Oh, he's a pillar of business. He's a titan in the industry. Yeah, Mark Cuban, you need to exit stage left as well. The movie is no longer working. They're trying to do everything they possibly can to basically gaslight you. And what I'm just going to close this opening segment with, my opening news segment here, is how I closed last night's video at 1 o'clock in the morning or so. Stay off the television. Do not watch any news. Don't open Polymarket. Don't do anything. The biggest psyop in history, in American history, is taking place right now. They will do everything, and I do mean everything, to lie, gaslight you, brainwash you, turn you into an MK Ultra zombie to make sure you think that this race is still close. It's not. They'll try to steal it. They'll do everything they can, because if they can convince people it was close, then the shenanigans that they try could work. But for your own sanity, step away. Watch the rallies today. We got 3 of them. We got 3 shows. Every show I'll have an intro and I'll do some sort of news and get you some information and we'll have some fun. But do yourself a favor. Turn on an old movie like Robin watches. What is it? CMT. Watch an old movie, Turner Classics. Look at something from 1939, 1940. I would suggest The Maltese Falcon or The Manchurian Candidate, the earlier one with Frank Sinatra, to give you an idea what's going on right now. Maybe turn into The Bourne Identity and see what this is all about. You know, those are good suggestions. You can put other suggestions. If you want, put on The Wizard of Oz, because you're watching that right now. Don't pay attention to that little man behind the curtain, whoever he is. Because right now, you're watching it. You're in it. You are in The Wizard of Oz right now. So you might as well just turn it on and watch it. Or you could do like me and participate in these 3 rallies and DVR your favorite football game. I don't know what time Notre Dame plays today. Maybe during the rally I can click the button and watch some football. But I'll watch some football later. I'll spend some time with the little doggy and the wife. Let me reverse that order before she hears that. With the wife and the little doggy. We'll eat something, maybe throw something on the grill up some stuff in between this rally and the 4 p.m. rally. He's already late for this one, which means the schedule's getting bumped as we speak. Or tomorrow, watch a full slate of NFL games. Watch them one after the other. Do whatever you can to stay off. Or go out and touch dirt. Get out there. Go out in the air. Down here it was a little rainy, so there's not much we can do, but we can go out and, fool around in the pool and have some fun. No problem getting in the pool when it rains. Don't matter, just the lightning we have to watch out for. But relax. Just do the woosah. Chill. Get away from it all. Don't pay any attention to it. Don't spam the chat with, "Oh my God, you won't believe what I just saw." That's what they want to do. That's what the intention this weekend is. To get you off your game, to brainwash you, to gaslight you, to turn you into an MK Ultra zombie so that you are freaking out. Don't freak out. We got this. I'm really confident we got this. As long as Laura Trump keeps doing what she's doing, as long as they get the attorneys in there and those attorneys jump in and make sure they smack these people down as fast as it happens, as long as we see Americans responding. Last thing I want to touch on about that. Last night, and I'm rehashing this because I know many of you weren't here at 12 o'clock midnight last night. We were here. Bucks County, Pennsylvania. The delays were 5, 6, 7 hours long because they played some shenanigans. They got caught by the court. The court said you had to open up an extra day. And they basically said, okay, the court said we had to open up an extra day for voting, but they didn't say how we had to staff it. So they stuck 1 or 2 staffers in this building and made people stand outside for 6 and 7 hours. Thankfully, we can all talk on X right now, and people started saying, hey, look what's happening in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Bucks County flipped from blue to red. Watch what's happening. I'm sure there'll be some stuff like that on X today. Maybe that's the kind of stuff you should look for. Because what Americans did yesterday warmed my heart. What Americans did yesterday should get you enthused. People who had a little extra money decided they were calling DoorDash and said, deliver pizzas to, what's the address? Yeah, honey, deliver 4 pizzas to this address, give it out. And people started delivering pizza and Chinese food and all kinds of stuff to the people who were stuck in line for 7 hours. And then some generous person called a party supply store and said, yeah, can you deliver like 5,000 chairs to this place and hand them out? So that the people in line didn't have to get out of line. They held the line all 7 hours. Those are your fellow Americans. That's who needs your support. Watch today. If you're going to get on X and look around, look for where the lines are really long, and then get with the group and say, okay, how can we make these people feel a little bit more comfortable so that they don't leave, don't get frustrated, and know we're all behind them. That's my challenge to you today. If you're out there on the couch watching television, whatever you got to do, look and make sure you follow the right people who are going to say, hey, we got a problem in Cleveland. And Cleveland's doing shenanigans and the line is way long. What do we do? It's cold out here. It's 33 degrees. These people are standing in line. They don't want to leave, but it's getting kind of, the elements are getting to the point where people may want to leave. We can't have them leave. Hey, DoorDash, yeah, can you bring over like 18 sandwiches? Oh, yeah, thank you. Hey, Dunkin' Donuts, can you deliver like 8 boxes of coffee with cups? Thank you. Do it. Help out where you can. Do whatever you can to help these people who are trying to help you. These people are trying to help America, and the Democrats are making it extremely, extremely hard for them to do so. And we got 3 or 4 more days to get it over the line. Make these people comfortable. That's the least we can do at this point. I voted, and it was so seamless down here. As I said yesterday, we were in and out in like 15 minutes. I mean, both of us. Boom, boom, boom. It's like, damn, Ron DeSantis, you got it down here. You're not going to see any videos about people being in 7-hour lines down here. It's systematic. It's so easy. But if you're watching television, if you're on X and you see something, look for somebody with a big following and say, what are we going to do? Where is the address to that polling station? What do we need to do to get these people comfortable so that they don't leave? They want people to leave. The entire PSYOP is to try and discourage everybody. Oh, she's closing the gap on poly market. Yeah, okay. Oh, the other states got her. Oh, she's ahead by 2 in this state. Yeah, okay. It's a lie. And those actors that you just saw, and you can decide. I forgot to say this when it ran. You can tell me in the chat because we're still waiting, and I'll stop talking. We'll start looking. Who gets the Academy Award? Which one of those people do you want to say, yeah, that was the best performance of the evening? Me personally, I'm gonna say it's J-Lo. J-Lo, you win the award. You win the award because you were able to get up there with all the crap that's going on about Diddy. And I'll change his name so I don't get in trouble with these people because they probably got a flag on the word Diddy, but I know they don't have a flag on his previous name, Puff Daddy. So I'm going to call it Puff Daddy because we'll get around these filters. So he used to be called Puff Daddy. So Puff Daddy, that's how we're going to refer to you. You don't want your pictures, some of which we have seen. Yes, we've seen kind of in disrobed. We seen you, J-Lo. You're nasty, girl. But these pictures are coming out. This dude's in prison. He's got videos of all kinds of freaked out parties. And you decided you're going to bring this woman into a political rally of you running for president and lead her as a role model for your people to vote. And all I can think of as I watch this stuff is you have stupid voters. You see, all of Donald Trump's stuff, and no one believes that, what's that crazy lady who said he did something in a store? No, we're not talking about that. Everything they went after Donald Trump with, porn star? You mean a woman who gets paid to do certain things? The other stuff that's getting thrown out of court, all the stuff that Fannie Willis came out with, you got nothing on him. And then you exposed everything about him. You went through court case after court case after court case. You put a microscope up his butt and looked at everything you possibly can. But funny, there's no microscope going up J-Lo's butt. Yet. See, I think that's what a lot of these Hollywood people are terrified of. You see, Kamala's going to keep everything as is, under cover, under wraps. When Trump gets in, and he puts in whoever his attorney general is going to be, oh, there's going to be a lot of light shined on that darkness. A lot of light that you people don't want to see. You don't want, oh, I can't, oh, no, I can't. Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun. Let's expose them all. Let's Puff Daddy, the dude who had the island, all of it. These kids deserve it. These victims deserve everything. Last thing I want to say. YouTube, over the last 2 days, has smacked me upside the head because of two things, actually three things. One, they don't want me showing RFK Jr. anymore. Just telling you. Secondly, they don't want me showing Jocelyn's video where they talk about the, the newcomers who had their way with little Jocelyn. Nope, can't have that. We don't want you to do that because it says the word, begins with an R. And I'm like, and people don't want to hear about that. Do you know that SVU is like one of the biggest shows on television, has been forever, but nobody has a problem with it there, right? Because like every episode, some woman's getting something done to them. But I can't. They also don't want me to show the part where Trump talks about the Tres Leches going into apartment complexes. So I've created some overlays rather, so that I don't have to show those. So when it gets to those points, you'll hear it. You'll notice what I do. I'm going to click a button. I'm like, okay, I got to play this instead. But that's just the rules that we're under. Elon, please get your shit together. Please, please, please. That being said, Donald Trump has arrived. He is at the venue, finally. He's pulled up. The motorcade is behind him. I'll let you guys see all that. And there's the motorcade, and he will be on stage shortly. He's only 37 minutes late. Not bad. So he's going to be in Gastonia, North Carolina, which is this event. This is going to go on for an hour. Then he's heading at 4 o'clock. We're heading to Salem, Virginia. So Virginia must be in play. So we're going to go to Virginia, North Carolina to Virginia. We're not talking a huge time. If he gets on stage by 12:45, once the Lee Greenwood song plays, 12:45, he talks for an hour and a half normally. That takes us to 1:45, 2:15. It's a short flight to Salem. 4 o'clock. I think we're good for the 4 o'clock one. Think we're good. The second one, which is in where is that next one after that? Let me look at the book here. He's going back to North Carolina. He's going to be in Greensboro. So that's not really that far, but we'll see how that works out as well. All right, so Trump is here. While we're waiting, let's go ahead and go take some comments. Only a handful, one of the most disgusting media quotes at present. Not sure. I'm with J-Lo got paid $11 million. Oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me. Barry, you need to get on Rumble. Nothing is censored on Rumble. There's a problem with that a lot of you guys don't understand. This is a business. And this is, in the words of Hiram Roth from The Godfather, this is the business we've chosen. What it means is, it's not just about posting videos. It's about getting paid. All right, so let's just clear up all those miscomers. Oh, Barry, so-and-so's playing the song. They don't seem to have a problem. Let me tell you the back end of what happens. You go ahead and play the music, and then YouTube goes, ha, 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 you played that song. You know what? We're going to turn off your monetization. You don't make any money. This is a business. As the same way that Fox and CNN and MSNBC get paid for advertising, this is a business. Rumble, I have a meeting with them next week, but I've told them, y'all going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay up if you expect me to do videos over there. I'm not doing this for my health. I am a full-on, full-throated Trump supporter, but I am also doing this because it's a business. So let me just lay that out there. I'm sorry, somebody wanted to know how long were people standing in line for. Oh, okay, so the people, you can look it up on X. Where exactly was it that people were waiting 7 hours in line to vote? That was Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, which is a huge swing state that Trump has to win. They're trying everything they can to suppress people there. So that was that was where that was happening. Who is this actor that can barely read? I'm not sure which one you were talking about, but I don't know if it's the first one or was it Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo, who is one of the Avengers. Bell's Garden. What's it say? Only a handful media used to describe what is happening with the gang apartment takeovers as if it makes it okay. Yeah, they just look at things a certain way. Rumble has been having a lot of technical difficulties, and several content creators prefer YouTube despite the censorship. Yep. I mean, I can work around the censorship. Like you said, when he gets to that part when he's talking about Jocelyn, which many of you don't want to hear anymore anyway, it's too heartbreaking. If I know what your problem is, I can work around the problem, but sometimes they don't communicate, and all of a sudden, and some of you have been here when my videos have just disappeared. I'm talking and they're like, bloop, gone. And then they come right back. It's very weird. So you just have to just do it. No, I'm not related to Sam Cunningham. Yeah. Oh, currently 7,300 members in our fanfare community. Let me go ahead and put that up while we're waiting. Thanks, SV. If you'd like to join our private membership, which is, I decided to do that along with Ashley instead of a YouTube membership. It's free. 100% free. You're not going to be charged, and you can join 7,000 plus fellow patriots. Just go to fanfareshop.org/group. If you put that URL in your browser, it will take you directly to the X group. fanfareshop.org/group for enjoying 7,000 fellow patriots. Now understand, the reason why we did that was because I feel that moving forward and right now, X has so much more flexibility, so much more that you can do and see on X. Many people have put in the chat, they're like, I mean, I never knew this stuff was out there, Barry. Yeah, I know. We have so much we have to be careful with what I can say here. You don't have to worry about that there. If you see something, boom, post it. And what I also love about it is a YouTube membership is just me. And you get to comment. You get, oh yeah, that was pretty cool. And then you get your money taken from you. And I'm like, I don't need $3 or $4 a month. I don't want that. I want people to be able to communicate and become content creators. And so if you go to that private group, you're going to see posts by me, but you're going to see thousands of posts by people just like you. That's what I love the most. You guys have taken ownership of that. You're the ones creating content. You're the ones interacting and showing videos. And at this point, Ashley's going to be working with me on X as well, is because we have to moderate all the stuff people send me. I get so many direct messages. Hey, Barry, did you see this video? Hey, Barry, did you see that video? And I love it because they're giving me possible content for me to work on, but it's overwhelming. It's just thousands of people just talking, engaging, commenting, posting, images, memes, videos, none of which you can do here on a YouTube membership. And it's free. So that's even better. Cardi B is Bacardi Rum. That's how she got her name. Yeah, what are we doing here? That woman was thick as an absolute fraud. The Democrats are full of communists and liars. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Where are we going here? I just couldn't believe when I saw that J-Lo thing. Does this chat allow free speech? Free speech right now is in a box. Like it or not, even here, even on Twitter. So I'll give you two aspects that you have to understand. Here and Twitter, we have what's called bad word filters. So if you use the N-word, if you use the C word, if you use certain words, F, if you use certain words, they automatically get filtered. Nobody ever sees them. They just go away. They just disappear. Same thing here on X. I can actually see it, and if I want to approve it, I can approve it and put it up. on X, you have to be very careful. I got an email from somebody this morning who said her account got suspended permanently. Because what happens is trolls know what they're doing. They're much more advanced than new X users. And they will get in and they will entice you, antagonize you, and want you to comment. And they wait for you to say something bad. They get you so pissed off that you end up saying like something like F you, B. And then they report it and all their friends report it. And next thing you know, you're done. My advice to you on X is don't engage with trolls. Ignore them. They're there for a reason, and that reason isn't to help you communicate. They mean nothing. Just block them and move on. On these trolls here, we've got people like SV and everybody else, and they're working really hard to basically make sure that stuff doesn't happen here. Ashley just sent me, said, is there a new hoodie link? Here's what I'm going to do. We've had so many people who've entered. I'm going to give away 3, but I have to. It's November 2nd, and the entry site ended on October 31st. So when he starts talking, I'll go ahead and get it cut away, and I'll open it back up, and then I'll post a link and everything for you to go to so you can enter to win. You can be part of the winners. So I see that guy I talk about all the time who gets up on stage. By the way, this guy probably has the hardest job in the world right now. As you can see him, he's making sure the mic and everything is working. He's still there, the same guy with the beard and everything. So he didn't get fired after what happened last night. Those of you who weren't here at midnight, Trump was pissed off because the microphone wasn't working. He had to rip it off the stand and talk in it like that because nobody could hear. So he was pissed off about that mic. This guy's still working. So something tells me he bent over and got spanked on the plane on the way home yesterday because he still has a job. And he probably still has a job because by the time the Secret Service vetted somebody or a new company and everything else, there'd be no way they could get somebody on stage. So let me see who's coming out. The blonde lady. This looks like it's the former Attorney General of Florida, Pam Bondi.
To be here, but I have a question. Have any of you heard of Mark Cuban? So I see a lot of beautiful, smart, strong women in this audience. So I was a prosecutor for 18 years. I worked for President Trump. He's my friend. And I can tell you he surrounds himself with all strong, bright, brilliant women. And how many strong women are in this audience? I think we have a message for Mark Cuban. Underestimate us. This'll be fun. So how many people have early voted? Yes! How many people early voting's closed. How many people are going to vote on election day? Okay. Bring a friend with you. Every vote counts. All right? One of my friends had a friend who had a car broken down. She picked her up and took her to the polls. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to your friends. It's not too late. Every vote counts. For all of these great congressional races, too, and I see my friend Dan Bishop in the front row. We love you, Dan. But President Trump has been out there fighting for us non-stop. And if he's out there fighting for us, we're going to fight for him. God bless you, God bless President Trump, and God bless our great country.
That's Pam Bondi, who was the Attorney General here for the state of Florida. Did a fantastic job. I guess she's gone into private practice at this point, but she's good. She's really good. So let me take a couple more. No, it's not Liz Wheeler. That was Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi. Mark Cuban stepped in it, but he got fired too. He got fired. New York will go red. I've been hearing some really interesting stories about what's going on in New York. Really interesting stories. Good, interesting stories about what's happening to him. We will fight for him 100%. My family voted yesterday. Go get elderly in your area. Offer to take them. If you don't, the Democrats will. All right, somebody else is coming up. They're coming up quickly now. Who is this? This appears to be Michael Watley.
Well, God bless North Carolina. And God bless Gaston County. What a great crowd. What a great turnout. We are 3 days away from changing this country and putting America back on track. You know, you think about it in every single election cycle. It really comes down to one question. Sometimes we know what the question is, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have to look at all the analysis afterwards. But when we look at this election cycle, we know what America cares about. We know what the voters care about. We know what every family in North Carolina is worried about. Is America going to be strong or weak? Is North Carolina going to be strong or weak? Is Western North Carolina going to be strong or weak? You know, in this election cycle, we have a comparison. We have two candidates who both have served 4 years in the White House. One of those candidates, as our borders are, led the administration to take 94 executive actions to dismantle the most secure southern border that we've ever had. She's allowed 10, 15, 20 million illegal immigrants to come across that border. Tens of thousands of convicted murderers that she's released into our country. Tens of thousands of convicted rapists that she has allowed into our country. Hundreds of thousands of convicted felons that she's let into our country, including here in North Carolina. We've got a vice president who cast the tie-breaking vote on $2.5 trillion worth of unneeded, unnecessary, wasteful government spending. And when President Obama's own economic advisor said it's going to send prices through the roof, she did it anyway. And now every single family in North Carolina is paying 25% more for their groceries, paying 50% more for their gasoline, paying 25% more for their housing unless they want to buy a house. And now it costs twice as much to buy the same house today as it did 4 years ago. We have a vice president who on the world stage stood up Benjamin Netanyahu at a joint session in Congress so she could go to a sorority event in Texas. Who went to a conference with all the world leaders in Europe and told Putin, do not invade Ukraine. 5 days later, he invaded Ukraine. Not much of a deterrent. America is weak. And when America is weak, the world is a far more dangerous place. On the other hand, we have a former president. Nine years ago, Donald J. Trump came down the escalator and said that he was going to make America great again by restoring our southern border, rebuilding our economy, and making sure that America is strong enough to protect ourselves and our allies around the world. And for 4 years, that is exactly what he did. He built the strongest, most secure southern border that we've ever had. Illegal detentions, illegal crossings were at record lows when he left office. He built an absolutely roaring economy. We had more women in the workforce. We had lower unemployment among blacks, lowest unemployment among Hispanics ever in history. And we were recovering coming out of COVID. Inflation was less than 2% every single year, and it was 1.5% when he turned it over to Joe Biden. We have a president When he was there, Russia was in check. China was in check. Iran was in check. And he said to the world, we will protect our interests and our allies, and we will stand up to the bullies who want to be running over our interests around the world. So I have to ask, does America want America to be strong? Does North Carolina want America to be wealthy again? Does North Carolina want America to be safe again? Does America want America to be great again? So does North Carolina want to re-elect Donald J. Trump as our 47th president? And are you ready to welcome the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America to North Carolina? Now I got one more thing to say. We are 3 days out from the most important election of our lifetimes. How many people here have already voted? That's awesome. But it's not enough. When we get out of here today, and I want you all to really, truly enjoy Donald Trump when he comes here to Gaston County. But you have got to go home and roll up your sleeves and pull out your cell phone and go to work. Every person in this crowd, I want you to commit right now that you are willing to take 1 hour. I need 5-minute conversations with 10 of your friends, your family members, your colleagues, your coworkers, and people that you go to church with. They need to understand how important this election is. They must commit to vote. How many people here are going to make that commitment right now? Then let's get ready to welcome the 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, back to North Carolina. Thank you.
Okay, so that's Michael Watley. Just wanted to let you guys know, I'll go ahead and put the little scroll when we start, but the hoodie entry page is back up. So Ashley or SV or Beth, if you guys are here, go ahead and post it. It's just go to fanfareshop.org, fanfareshop.org, and it is up and running. So I was able to do that while he was talking. Fanfareshop.org. Yep, fight, USA. Absolutely believe in that. Half the vote of this country is already taken place. Yep, I believe that as well. There's a reason. I mentioned it before, why they keep asking that, because they're trying to gauge it as well. Hey, how many of you people have voted so far? Okay, how many of you have still not voted yet? So if, put it this way, just so you guys can understand, if they can gauge it, I mean, it's an impromptu poll. They're just talking to a finite audience there, but he's asking that at every single rally, which may be why he's doing 10 rallies over the next 3 days. So when he gets on stage and says how many people have voted, and they can look and say, okay, it looks like 50, 60% of the crowd, maybe 70% of the crowd, and he knows if he can interpolate that to other cities, other areas, then he still knows there's a good chunk of people still coming on election day. And so that's where they're getting the calculations like, man, if we're already stomping their butts and we still got more cavalry coming, then this is going to look very, very good for us, because we haven't expended all of our votes. We still got stuff in the tank. Now, if we're ahead or even winning by so much that the stuff that's still coming, the Democrats are going to have a really, really, really hard time cheating. Of course, California, they're going to do whatever they want. You don't need any ID, just walk in. Some people would say we should start going to California by the busload and just voting again, since they, use it against them, since nobody needs an ID. Here, that's probably where their newcomers come into place. But I also have to believe something. And this is something that I think you guys can pray. I have prayed that the good in people. We know there's some of them that are off the charts. Their sacrament is baby removal, and that's it. But I gotta believe there's some good people who still value the honor system, that will say, listen, I don't need an ID, but I'm gonna look, I'm gonna see what's going on here, and I'm going to report it if I see something funky happening here. It may not go anywhere. And I just think if enough people vocalize, enough people spot this stuff and post it, that even in some place like California, people may get to the point where they just say, I've had it with this shit. What are you trying to do? I don't believe, and I won't believe. Maybe it's because of my athletic background. I will not believe that most people are okay with cheating. I've had many opponents. I've had many opponents on the field. I have had many opponents in business. I have had many opponents that were friends, that were former friends. I've known quite a few criminals. And it always seems that there's a core there. They may try to cheat you in business. They may try to get over you on a field and have the foreign object or take steroids. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that one because guilty as charged. But you understand what I'm saying. I think that overall, people, there are good people in America. And what I'm praying for is that these good people are struck, compelled, and hit with the feeling of, I have to do what is right. You see, if people didn't do what they were supposed to do, imagine this. There would never, ever, it would never be safe to drive. Think of it that way. We all pull up to the light, and it's red or green. If we didn't want to do the right thing, we would just drive right through. Screw it. Doing what I want to do. We have lived in guardrails. You can get on the highway. Yeah, most of the people are driving the way they're supposed to. There's no doubt I love this man. And then there's some idiots that drive 110 and just fly by you. But for the most part, people do what they're supposed to do. This election, they are asking the overwhelming amount of people to do what you're not supposed to do. And I just find that's going to be a tall order. I don't know if there is enough people out there who are going to disregard everything they've learned in life, everything that their parents and grandparents had taught them, and say, screw it, I'm going to cheat. Yes, there will be a certain amount of people who will do it no matter what. And our school systems and this government run by Democrats has basically, as I said, MK Ultra'd a ton of people. Trump is on stage. He's behind glass. The picture is horrible because the time of day here being noon, 1 o'clock, the sun is hitting that glass, and all I can see is a reflection of Trump. It's a horrible picture, but we got to do what we got to do. But anyway, I believe in the goodness of people. I just don't see people walking up to people in supermarkets and punching them in the face or taking their stuff out of their carts. Yes, there are burglars. Yes, there are criminals, and she's brought a bunch of them in here. But think about it. When you're walking through the grocery store or the mall, there's a ton of Democrats in there. There are a ton of liberals in there. But you don't see a whole lot of shoplifters. You don't see a whole lot of people stealing. That's because generally, deep down, people are good. I believe that. I pray for that. I pray that over the next 3 or 4 days as people are getting ready to vote, that good people do the right thing. We can't account for bad people. Maybe we can pray for their salvation. But good people, I believe, will do the right thing. Donald Trump is stepping up to the microphone. Here we go. Let's see what's going on.
This is a big crowd. Wow.
Okay, let me know how the volume is, and I will get out of his face here. USA!
Thank you very much. Oh, you know, this was supposed to be a small little stopover. You got 20,000 people here. This was going to be a little stopover, Tim. No, this is great. We were just going to stop over real quick, a little group of people. This is not a little group of people. Hello, North Carolina. This is going to happen. I predict, let's make a prediction. This will happen on Tuesday, I think, right? This will happen on Tuesday. I think they'll end up having many, many more people than they thought. This is going to be great, but we have to get out and vote. And we will, because I am thrilled to be back in this beautiful state. What a great state. You know, I have a little granddaughter named Carolina. You know that, right? With thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. You really are. You're amazing people. It's an amazing place. You've been through a lot. Your government has not helped you too much, I can tell you. Your government, FEMA, has let you down because they wanted to spend the money on illegal migrants instead. But we'll be here on January 20th, and you'll see quick service, all right? I'd like to begin by asking a very, very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? I don't think so. I don't think so. I've come today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote on Tuesday, I will end inflation. I will stop the invasion of massive numbers of criminals that have come into our country. And I will bring back the American dream. We don't have the American dream. We had it. You know, we also had energy independence 4 years ago. This is all you need to know. Kamala broke it. She broke it. We will fix it. I will fix it. It'll be fixed very fast. And America will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before. This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of incompetence and they're grossly incompetent, let's face it. They are the worst. That's no president. But I shouldn't say that. No, inclusion, I shouldn't say that. You ever hear her? We want to be a unified country. We want to be a unified country. She said the other day, we want to be unified. We don't want to say bad things about anybody, including our opponent. He's Hitler. You ever hear it? She talks about unity, and then she calls me Hitler. Well, whether we begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country, and I'm asking you to be excited about the future. You're going to be excited about the future. It's such a great area, this whole area is. And I'm asking you to dream big. Again, we're going to dream big, and we're going to make this America's new golden age. It's going to be the golden age. Every problem facing us can be solved, but now the fate of our nation is in your hands. We win this state, we're going to win the whole ball game, you know. And we've won it twice before, and we won it quite easily. And by the way, Michael did a fantastic job. He did so well. You know, he stopped the steal. He stopped the cheating here. They didn't stop it in some other states. But he did so well, and we did so well here. I said, Michael, how would you like to run the whole damn thing, right? And then I said, what other star do I get? And I said, maybe my biggest star of all, Lara from your backyard. Lara. I got Lara from your backyard. She's great. She's great. Good couple, too, right? That's a good team. Eric and Lara. On Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala that you've had enough. You can't take it anymore. You're grossly incompetent. Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. You're fired. Get the hell out. Get out of here. We got to fix our country. I watched her this morning. She gives these press conferences that last like about 2 minutes. It's the weirdest thing. You know, I get all set. I want to watch something, right? ladies and gentlemen, the vice president, oh good. She comes onto the stage like for 2 minutes, and all she does is talk about me. She never talks about what she's going to do. Donald Trump. Did you ever see the clip where they go, Donald Trump? The last time she spoke, she mentioned my name like 28 times or something. She didn't talk about what she was going to do, and economically, she doesn't know anything. In fact, what she's proposing, well, wait a minute. You just saw, you were going to go over it in a second, the worst numbers I've ever seen. How good was that? To get those numbers 4 days before the vote was, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. No, you would have liked that in one of your races, wouldn't you? But no, to get those numbers, we had the worst numbers, I think, maybe like sort of ever. And they were like 4 days. And I want people to remember it because, a lot of people said, well, this won't affect the election because a lot of people aren't thinking about that. Of course, these people, they'll say, look at all of them. Look at all of the fake news. They say all of that. They always say that, but I think it's unbelievable timing. If I had my choice I think it's perfect. I covered it last night. We were in Milwaukee, in the biggest arena you've ever seen, same size as Madison Square Garden. It was packed hours before the event. We could have filled it up twice. And that's Wisconsin, the great state of Wisconsin. And a great Green Bay player, the great Brett Favre, he endorsed me. He endorsed me, and that's a big thing in Wisconsin. He was on the Packers, as football fans know. He could rip the ball. He could throw that ball so hard, so fast. Sometimes it would hit the receiver in the face. He couldn't see the ball was coming so fast. It was a lot of embarrassment, just ripped the ball into their hands, and he was great. I shook his hand. He had the biggest hand I've ever seen. Now I know why he threw. His hand was like 3 times the size of a normal hand. His fingers were like sausages. I said, I looked at it, I said, that's the biggest hand. And so he was born to do that. But you know what? He said, I've never done this before. He did a beautiful little speech, and he said, I've never done this before. I've never endorsed anybody. I'm endorsing President Trump because we want him to just do the same job he did. Really nice. Really nice. Never did it before. For these past few years, we've been fighting to take back our country, and it's been a failed and corrupt administration, a horrible administration, an administration that, you like to see like a football coach. He brings something there. He brings a little esprit de corps. There's no esprit de corps. Biden, and by the way, they're fighting like hell, the two of them. Biden said, you stole my presidency, and you're no better than I am. No, it's the same thing. I think the numbers I think Joe, maybe, we're going to see on Tuesday, right? But I think Joe might have done better. But Joe, the reports are, look, he hates me. We had a debate. He didn't do too well, but that's okay because, you don't take an election away. He didn't do well. And his numbers went down a little bit. And you know what happened? They walked in and they said, you're not running anymore. Get out. You're out of the race. This is the president of the United States that they did this. It was a coup. I don't like the word, but it was a coup. But it was sort of worse than a coup because a coup takes a little more time. This was like Crazy Nancy and some others. They walked in. She's crazy as a bedbug. And somebody should look at her Visa stock. She sold her position. This is a woman started off with nothing. Now she's worth $200 million. Do you think she's been honest? No, she has a big position in Visa, right? I think it's Visa, one of them, whatever, who the hell cares, but it's Visa. And, she plays the market. It's not really playing when you have the information she's got. So she sold her entire position the day before it was announced that Visa's under massive investigation. Now, is the fake news going to do anything about that? I doubt it. Together we have overcome every attack, every abuse, and even 2 assassination attempts. I remember them. And now, it all comes down to this. Remember, assassination, nasty, but it really is. They go after people that are meaningful. They go after people that are meaningful. They go after people that believe in making other countries pay for what they do. We're tired of being ripped off. Consequential, I guess, is the best word. They seem to go after consequential presidents. And I didn't know it was such a dangerous profession. Being president is a very dangerous profession. Who would have thought? But if you look at race car drivers, I have a lot of race car driver friends. You know, I own a job down the road in a place called Charlotte. Have you ever heard of it? And it's been such a pleasure. But we have a lot of the race car drivers are they're members, and it's been a great place. Just I'd like to be able to come here sometime and actually play at the course. And the beautiful, I bought a whole big thing there years ago, and it worked out beautiful. It just works so beautifully. But I was talking to somebody, and they were talking about a consequential president, and then all the race car drivers, and I said, let's see, and I asked somebody, and you got to be careful when you talk about this subject. You don't like to say, what's the level of death when you drive a race car driver and you're talking to a race car driver, right? So I did a little, so it's like 1/10 of 1%. And the bulls are a little bit more, 1/10 of 1%. President, it's a lot. That percentage is like up there, high. It's probably the highest thing you can do. Nobody told me this when I was thinking about it. Nobody told me this. But I wouldn't have changed my mind because we're going to make this country greater than it's ever been before. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We had the strongest border in the history of our country. The strongest. Should I bring down my favorite chart of all time? Bring it down. Bring it down. It's my favorite chart of all time. That chart I love. See, right now I'm looking over there. Well, if I was looking over there, I'm gone. If I was looking there, I'm gone. If I'm looking there, there was only one place I could be looking, and that's exactly right there. That's the only place. If I was looking there, no good. And I was looking there, no good. Had to be here, because the lunatic was right there. And I looked over here at the chart, which was right here. I looked over, ping. Can you imagine? I love that chart, Tim. I love that chart. I love it. Even if the numbers were bad, if those numbers were terrible, if I was like in one of the lines to the right, look, it's like an Elon Musk rocket ship. That's what happened. So that was my last day in office. That was the lowest illegal immigration we've ever had. I had it fixed. It was beautiful. And that included trafficking of women. They traffic, mostly it's women, by the way. I hate to tell you that, but it's women. 325,000 children are missing. Can you believe during their administration? Nobody talks about it. They should be talking about it. That is a human tragedy. 325. Think of what that is. That's take your biggest stadium and multiply it many times and load it up with children. That's what we're talking about. 325,000 children are missing. But look at that. That's the lowest it's been. All those people that you read about that got killed most likely wouldn't have happened. And all that guy had to do is he could have gone to the beach. All he had to do is leave my people. They were doing an incredible job. We have guys like Tom Homan and fantastic people. And the Border Patrol guys are fantastic. They just endorsed me. They said, he's the greatest president in the history of our country. I said, does that include Abraham Lincoln and George Washington? To them, yes. But the reason they said it is because to them, there's nobody that ever did the border job like I did. And I'd call them all the time. I'd bug them. And I said to them in front of a big audience, I said, how many times, she was the border czar, right? She was in charge of the border. I said, how many times did she call? And they said never. So in almost 4 years, I looked, there were like 10 officials behind me. They all gave me this beautiful endorsement. And they've always endorsed me. They've endorsed me every year. Every year, they were hoping, but they just endorsed me. They're great people. They want this country to be so good. They hate, it's easier for them to let people go in. Just go ahead in. But they don't want people to go in. They love the country, the Border Patrol, and ICE too. ICE is incredible. But I said, how many times did she call? Sir, she never called. I said, never? None of you guys? We never received a call. She never went to the border. And it's, in my opinion, the single biggest problem we have. I mean, to me, I rate it bigger than inflation. Inflation's terrible. And you saw the horrible numbers we had. The worst numbers I've ever seen, 12,000 people. We had 12,000 jobs. Nobody has 12,000 jobs is nothing. We had 12,000 jobs. It's the worst numbers I've ever seen. I'll fix that. But when she allows 13,099 murderers. These are people that are incarcerated for murder, many of them more than one murder. They're now roaming our country. We have no idea who the hell they are. You know who knows? Our local police, our local law enforcement, and they're going to work with us because we're going to get them the hell out. They know everything about it. So we're just 3 days away from the greatest political victory in world history. But it only happens if you get out and vote, okay? You got to get out and vote. You got to do that. You know, I haven't felt this much heat on me in a long time. That sun is brutal. They'll say, what happened to you? You got really red. The next one, I'm doing another one. Can you believe I do 3 or 4 of these a day? Can you believe it? But this one I like. This one I like. You know what she does? She does like one and then takes a day off. I said, wait a minute. So we've gone now, I think it's 62, 63 days, something like that, in a row. I can't believe I've kept my voice. The big thing is you don't want to lose the voice. Because if you lose the voice, it's no good. It tends to not do well. It tends not to play well for those people in the back. But you know what? 62, 63. And you know who knows that? I call them the women of North Carolina. Those women. There they are. There they are. But where are the women that I know of North Carolina? I can't believe. Where are they? Huh? Oh, they're coming later. Oh, I've never seen that before. Whoa. They are the most incredible. They've been to 259 rallies. Huh? There's no way they're not here. Where are they? There. Where the hell are they? Put up your hand. You dress so differently today. They've underdressed today a little bit. No, but I think it's like 259 or something. They've been incredible. Oh, there they are. Okay. I'm wondering, where the hell are they? Okay, good. It's good to see you all. You're scattered. I've never seen you scattered before. I put everything on the line for you, and including my life itself. I mean, in all fairness, I don't talk about it, but I did. And I need you to do one thing. We don't want your money. I don't want any money. I don't want anything. All we want is one simple thing. Get out on Tuesday and vote. Because we can't take a chance. Too big to rig. We got to make it too big to rig. We can't let anything happen. With your help, we're going to defeat Kamala Harris, and we're going to make America great again. We're going to make it great. We're going to make America great again. Yesterday it was announced that Kamala's economy added only 12,000 jobs. Nobody's ever heard of that. You know, look, you've been doing this. Even if you're not into that world too much, I am. But, you know, you see 250 jobs. We were doing badly this month, 250. It's usually like 200, 250. Sometimes you have 300, 400. 12,000 jobs. I never heard it before. I've never heard of that number before. It's automatically, you know, you have automatic growth. One of the worst jobs report of all time, they say. I mean, how good is that if you happen to be running against the people that did that, right? It's only good for one thing. Same thing with the border. The border is horrible. It's death, it's destruction, it's the ruination of our country. It's only good for one thing. If you happen to be running against the idiots that allowed this to happen, open border. It's the only thing I can think of. There's no other reason. There's no other reason it's good. We lost nearly 30,000 private sector jobs. Think of that. And the jobs created were mostly government jobs. No, that's easy. You just call up, hire 100,000 people this month, you know. We don't want that. We want private jobs. Along with nearly 50,000 manufacturing jobs were lost in a single month. I've never heard of these numbers. These are depression numbers, I hate to tell you. Don't worry, I'll fix it. Don't get scared. Don't worry, because I know what to do. Under Kamala's catastrophic agenda, more than 100,000 manufacturing jobs have been wiped out since just the beginning of the year. These are numbers that are crazy. 150,000 Americans joined the unemployment rolls in October. That's really, you know? I mean, I've got your speaker. I've got a lot of big shots from North Carolina down here. They're looking like I had nothing to do with it. He said, I had nothing to do with it. In October, but nearly 250,000 people dropped out of the labor force. That's 250,000. They dropped out. They gave up. They basically gave up looking for a job. We cannot take 4 more years of this calamity. You may not be able to take a couple of months more of this. This isn't just. In fact, now that I see these numbers, I think I'm not going to do this. Goodbye, everybody. I'm going to go to the beach. I didn't know I didn't know. Joe Biden is Herbert Hoover. Turned out, I always said I'd hate like hell to be Herbert Hoover. I would. That was 1929, the Great Depression. These are Depression-type numbers. 100% of all net job gains in the past year. This is another beauty. Have gone where? Do you know where? To migrants. 100% of the job openings have gone to migrants, taking jobs for more than anybody else, and you haven't seen the numbers. And I think your speakers should ask Washington for those numbers because they're really bad. You know where they came from? African-American jobs. They've taken the African-American jobs. Migrants coming in illegally have taken African-American jobs. People that have done a great job. They've worked there for 20, 25 years in different places. And to a lesser extent, Hispanic jobs, but large numbers of African-Americans. It's going to probably be announced right after the election. They should be forced to announce it before the election because I'll tell you, they won't get one African-American vote. They're letting these people come in by the millions, and they're taking jobs of African Americans. And you're going to see it right after the election. They'll announce it. And they did another thing. They had 818,000 jobs that were fake. They were fake jobs. They were made-up jobs. They were fraud. If I did it, they'd throw you into the penitentiary for 20 years. Crooked Joe Biden. They don't call him Crooked Joe for a reason. I mean, it's a reason they call him that. He's a crooked guy. And she knew everything about it. They created 800, and you knew this? It came out like a week ago. They created 818,000 fake jobs. And on top of it, it was just announced that they had to readjust last month and create another 112,000 fake jobs. So they thought that they'd do the readjustment. Now, there's never been usually it's an adjustment of like 2,000 jobs or something. So this is almost 1 million jobs that these people defrauded you on because they wanted to go into the election with at least a decent picture. Wasn't great, but at least a decent picture. And we had a whistleblower that blew the whistle and told them that these were fake jobs. And so they've corrected that. And now we just had another whistleblower talking about 112,000 jobs off last month. In other words, last month where the numbers were terrible but okay, not like this, they took 112,000 jobs. So that's almost 1 million jobs between the two of them. And even the 12,000, you're going to see that that's probably a fake number too. We probably went into negative numbers, which hasn't happened in generations. So I stand before you today as the only candidate who can rescue our economy. This is a really bad thing that's happened. From obliteration and restore to strength, prosperity, and greatness. And you know what I'm going to do? The first thing, unlike her, they say, what are you going to do about the economy? Well, I grew up in a grass piece of land. I had a backyard that had grass on it. Remember the debate? She said, I grew up with grass on my front yard, and some grass on my back. And I'm saying, what the hell is going on here? See, I have a little more aptitude for this. I'm really good at this shit. So let me just, you know what we're going to do? We're going to drill, baby, drill like you've never seen before. Right straight there. And for the people in Pennsylvania, we're going to frack. But we're going to drill, baby, drill. And we're going to frack in certain areas. We're going to frack like we've never fracked before. Because we have more energy than any country in the world, including Russia. We're lucky in that regard. Including Russia and Saudi Arabia. They have a lot of oil. We have more than they do. And we were energy independent 4 years ago. Think of that. And your price per gallon was, I always went around and said 187. The government corrected me. It was 184 a gallon. Can you imagine? We got it down to $1.84. And now it's like $3.50, $3.75. But, you know, a few months ago, it was much higher. You know what they did? They went back to my policies because they were getting crushed. This was going to go over $6 or $7. In California, it was $8.50. Gavin Newsom, he does a terrible job. By the way, she worked with him. You know, she worked with him and destroyed California. And that's Kamala we're talking about. She worked with him, destroyed California. When she was the DA of San Francisco, she destroyed that city. She's the one responsible for the destruction of the best city, probably the best city in our country. And we're not going to let her do that to the United States of America. We can't. If my opponent knew how to fix the economy, it would have already been fixed. So I say, why didn't she do it? Do you ever see where she stands the other day? We are going to do this and that. I just keep going, why haven't you done it? Why haven't you done it? Why haven't you done it? She's going to do it. She's been there for 4 years, almost 4 years. Why the hell haven't they done it? Now today even, she's got some kind of a scheme. Yeah, it's a scheme, but it is a scheme. That she wants to do something, and she announced today, I don't know, something, whatever, doesn't matter. It's all a lot of bullshit, that's all it is. She announced a scheme. She's going to do something. And when I go to office, when she goes to office, do it tonight, do it today. You don't wait. She's going to wait. I've got a plan that I'm going to do this or that. Oh, good. Well, do it now. Do it right now, you know, if it's any good. No, she's a total fake. If Kamala, and she's incompetent, which is perhaps worse. If Kamala wins, you are 3 days away from the start of a 1929-style economic depression. I believe that. You know, we have a lot of great analysts. Scott Bessent is one. He's one of the smartest guys on Wall Street. A real, you know, I call him 182, 184, double her IQ, like double, maybe triple. But they say the only reason the stock market is doing good is because they all think Trump is going to be elected. So I believe that's true. I believe it's No, but you have a lot of them. You have this, Scott is one of the hottest guys. I hardly know him. I don't know him. But he writes all the time. He thinks that they think that Trump is going to win. And every time we have a good day, you can check out the market. But it seems like the market does very nicely. If I win, you are 3 days away from the best jobs, the biggest paychecks, the brightest economic future that the world has ever seen. Kamala's inflation nightmare. I mean, our economy is bad because of the inflation. No matter how well it does, the inflation just ripped it to pieces. We had no inflation. I had no inflation, virtually nothing. And now they have much higher than what you see, because when you see it, they don't put some of the higher numbers in. It's like the crime reports. The FBI forgot to put a few cities in there, like the worst cities in the country. So the crime report looked like it was pretty even. And he said, well, how come? I don't want to mention the cities because I'm trying to get their votes, okay? I don't want to mention, I want to get their votes, but you can imagine. But they forgot to put a few little cities in there, the big cities, actually. And then it turned out to be 45% increase in crime. A little difference. It's pretty sad when you have to rely on the FBI and they give you phony numbers too, right? Kamala's inflation nightmares cost the typical American family $30,000 in higher prices, and now she wants to impose the largest tax hike in American history and raise your taxes by $3,000 a year. This is the only person I've ever seen that's running for office that says, we will raise your taxes. You know, all my life I've watched politicians, and they're always saying, we will cut your taxes. We are going to cut. Some of them don't even mean it, but they say it. This one says, we're going to raise your taxes. Well, I want to give, this might be the only time I ever give her credit. If that's true, at least she's being honest. Okay? Right? But I've never heard it before. But at least maybe she's being honest. And if she is, maybe that's even worse for you now. Because she wants to, when you think about it, she's going to raise your taxes. I will massively cut taxes for workers and small businesses. And we will have something that I think is just great. You know, she came out with it right as soon as I said it. A couple of weeks later, she came out when she's making a speech. And she said, and I will have, and she said it quickly because she knew she was going to get hammered. I will have no tax on tips. No tax on tips. She got hammered. But we will have copycat. He said copycat. We will have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. All right? Which of them is the best? Okay, ready? We'll just do this quick. This is a free poll. Because, you know, I pay these guys a lot of money, these pollsters, and I don't even think they send people into the fields first. Let's see, it's 51-49. Now, send me a check for $300,000, right? I don't think they even send people into the field. You know what that means. You know, they're supposed to have hundreds of people that go into the field. They make a lot more money when they don't even bother. They say, Trump is leading 51-49. By the way, I think we are leading. You know, we're leading in every poll. But you're going to prove on Tuesday that we're leading by a hell of a lot more than just saying we have to do it. We have to do it. Okay, ready? No tax on tips, right? No tax, wait. We'll go no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax Social Security. Ready? Face it, number one. Which is the best of the three? No tax on tips. Well, that's not too good. Do any of you work in restaurants? Or who works in a restaurant? Not too many. You get a lot of money in this place. All right, because when I do that in Nevada, when I do that in Las Vegas, I say no tax on tips. I have to stop the speech, leave the podium for 20 minutes. It blew everything away. Okay. Again, no tax on tips. No tax on overtime. I see. That's right. All those houses you build. Yeah, that's good. That's no tax on Social Security benefits. And these guys are going to say, Trump has a conflict of interest. He's giving himself a tax break. No, can you believe? Because I'm a senior, I don't feel like a senior. Wait a minute. Do the seniors here feel like seniors? I feel better. I actually feel better than I did 30, 40 years ago, I think. I actually think I'm sharper. Now, there'll be a time when that won't be, but I feel I'm sharp. You have to be sharp when you can escape these monsters back there. These horrible, horrible, dishonest people. You know, the fake news, I came up with the name. I came up with the name fake news. Unfortunately, there's a mistake with the fake news. The term is not strong enough. I need a strong. It's fake is the least of it. They are totally corrupt. To lift up American families, I will protect and expand the child tax credit we created. We created it. And I will support a tax credit for family caregivers who take care of their parent or loved one. These are great people. I'll tell you what, these people, if you didn't have caregivers, these family caregivers, we call them angel moms and angel wives, where a husband comes back from the war or something and lots of problems. And if you didn't have them, you know, our hospital system wouldn't be able to survive, literally. It would be, you'd have to make it 3 times bigger. These people have contributed so much, and they haven't been recognized. We're going to recognize. We're going to give tax credits to people that take care of people. No, you'd have the people in the hospitals instead of at home in a bedroom with their family, with their mother or their wife or whatever, and or their husband. And they're unbelievable people. And a lot of them are, a lot of them leave. A lot of them say, I can't take it. They say, I didn't sign up for this. I'm sorry, I didn't sign up for this. They say that, and they leave. And people understand that too. But these people, they're angels. They're incredible angels. Our hospital system would not be able to handle it. So I think they deserve it, don't you? They don't even ask for it. I don't have any big lobby or anything asking me for it. I have lobbies asking me for everything, but I have no lobby asking me for that. It's just something I feel. I've always felt it. I've seen so many of them, met so many of them, and they want to just take care of their son or their husband or their daughter. I mean, they just want to take care of these people. And you could never get that kind of a care in a hospital. As good as a hospital is, as good as the hospitals are, you could never get that kind of care. So it's a beautiful thing, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it immediately. We're going to get it done immediately to rapidly reduce inflation. Thank you, Angel Moms. I will end Kamala's war on American energy, and we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill so. And I'm going to tell you that the best thing we can do, look, we're lucky. We have oil and gas, and we have it in abundance. I got ANWR approved in Alaska, which is the biggest, perhaps the biggest in the world. It might be as big as Saudi Arabia. It's massive. Reagan tried to do it. He couldn't get it done. Everybody tried. Everybody, well, the Democrats not so much, but everybody tried, and every Republican tried, I can tell you that. And they tried like hell, and I got it done. I got it done. And we were ready to drill and go, and this guy gets in within the first short period of time. They terminated it. This would have made so much money for our country, would have been so great for Alaska. I love Alaska. My grandfather spent a lot of time in Alaska. He was looking for gold, and then he realized, well, it's hard to find gold, and you'd see what happened to those people. That was our rough life. That was real cold stuff. So he built these little buildings, and they became little hotels for the guys looking for the gold. See, we always had a little entrepreneurial spirit, and he spent a lot of time in Alaska doing that. He was looking for gold, and he said, I could do better with building little hotels along the trail, right? And they actually have one. I think it's like a big landmark deal now. It's really great. It's tiny. It's like a few rooms, but that's the way it was. It was beautiful, but spent a lot of time. This would have been so great for Alaska. It would have been incredible for Alaska and unbelievable for our country. We would have taken care of Asia out of ANWR. And the first thing he did is terminated it. And he also terminated the Keystone pipeline. But he let Russia build Nord Stream 2, which is the biggest pipeline in the world. He let them build Nord Stream 2. Think of that. And I terminated that. I said, no, you're not building it, Russia. You're not building it. I'm sorry, Vladimir. He would ask me, don't do that. I said, I got to do it, Vladimir. It was going to supply all of Europe, Germany mostly, but all of Europe. And I terminated it. And he comes into office, and he immediately approved it. I said, what the hell is he doing that for? And then they say, Donald Trump was soft on Russia. No, that was the biggest project in Russian history, and I terminated it, and they never got it finished. And then this guy comes in, and he lets it go. I tell you, he's the exact opposite. Think of it, the exact opposite. His foreign policy is the absolute worst. Every single foreign policy move he's made, look at Israel. Don't do anything, don't do anything. And at least now they're in a position where there's some defense, where they can defend themselves from what might happen. You know, we're very close, I'll tell you what, we're very close to going into a thing called World War III. And we have people that do not have the mentality to even think about keeping us out. They have no idea. Again, should have never happened, Russia going into Ukraine. Afghanistan would have never happened, never. Getting out was right. I was going to get out, but with dignity and strength, and keep Bagram, which is the big air base. They gave up Bagram. It was 1 hour away from where China makes its missiles, nuclear missiles, 1 hour. That's why I would have kept it, not for Afghanistan. 1 hour away, think of it. And he left Bagram, and you know who occupies it now? China occupies it. China, he gave this multi-billion dollars, and this is from many years ago, was built. Got the biggest runways in the world, can handle anything. The biggest runways, most powerful, deep, thick concrete runways. To build them today would cost billions, tens of billions of dollars. He gave it up like you give up nothing. I've never seen. always keep Bagram, and now China occupies Bagram, 1 hour away from where they make their nuclear weapons. It's so sad. What's happened in this 4 years is so sad. And she's now running for president. She shouldn't even be allowed to run for president. I'll cut your energy prices in half within 12 months because we're going to get it going. And to bring jobs back, millions and millions of jobs, we'll give our companies the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs, the lowest regulatory burdens, and free access to the best and biggest market on the planet, but only for those who make their product right here in the USA and hire American workers for the job. We're going to bring your furniture guys back. You know, I love this state. You know when I got to know your state? When I was in this hotel phase of my life, I did great. I loved those hotels. And I'd come to North Carolina because you had the greatest craftsmen, the greatest everything, right? And they're mostly gone. Where are they? Oh, they're in China. Not them. They didn't even take them. They end up getting jobs where they don't want to do that. They were the most incredible. I'd say, could you do something with the arm of that chair? Yes, sir. Ding, 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 ding. They were like artists. I said, boy, that's beautiful. Could you do that? Yeah, we can do that. But we can do something better. Watch. I said, man. And I'm telling you, you had the greatest craftsmen in the world for furniture. And that business has been obliterated by stupid politicians. They're going to all come back. You watch. They're going to all, because we are now going to protect them. We're going to protect them with, as I said, the most beautiful word in the dictionary, tariffs. And if these companies don't make their products here, then they will pay a very stiff tariff when they send their products or bring their products into the United States for the privilege of competing with our companies and our workers. Our companies are going to be protected. I will never apologize for defending America. I will protect our workers. I will protect our jobs. I will protect our borders. I will protect our family. I will protect our women. I'm going to protect our women. I got into so much trouble. You saw that. I said, we will protect, because I keep hearing, I think the women love me. I do, because they know, you know what? If they don't have me, they got millions of people pouring through and coming up to the suburbs. They say the suburban women. Well, the suburbs are under attack right now. When you're home in your house alone and you have this monster that got out of prison, he's got, 6 charges of murdering 6 different people, I think you'd rather have Trump. But here's what I did. And I had a group, very controversial. What I do is very controversial. I don't care. I do the right thing. I want to protect women, but I want to protect our men. I want to protect our children. I want to protect everybody. So I took a little poll. And these horrible people back there said, well, Trump is soft with women. I don't believe I'm soft with. They say Trump is soft. He's very good with men. I don't know. Thank you, men. Thank you, men. No, I'm through the roof with men. She ain't catching us, men, let me tell you. No, I'm great with men, but I'm sort of like soft with the women stuff. And I say, she goes, yeah, it's true, you are. Who said that? She said, I love, good. She's made it up. She goes, yeah, you are, but we love you. So I believe that women have to be protected, men have to be, children, everybody. But women have to be protected when they're at home in suburbia. So when I did it, I said it, I came off stage and my genius is back. Sir, that may be a little bit of a rough statement. What? That you're going to protect women? Tell me why it's a rough statement. They said, well, it's a little self-serving. I mean, they'll say, who do you think you are? I said, yeah, I'm president. I want to protect the women of our country. So I came back out. I said, could I do a poll, please? I love these polls because they're free, I don't have these polls. It's $250,000 to interview 12 people, right? So what happens, I came out and I said, is there a crowd like this? This is a big crowd. I said, is there any woman that would be offended by the fact that I said, I am going to protect you as your president? No hands. So I had like 20,000 people. I didn't have one hand. I didn't have one hand, not one hand. Well, there was one woman that did say it. This woman's very smart. She said, was that Pelosi? Who the hell is that? You are a smart one. Wow. No, well, somebody else just said it was a woman who transitioned, you know. But I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I know. You have to be very careful. Everything you say, you know, like there's some women that are very beautiful in the audience. I would never say that because if I said like that, her. We got a lot of her. If I said they were beautiful, that's the end of my political career. You're not allowed to say a woman is beautiful. You're not allowed to, hello, you're a beautiful woman. You're a beautiful, very beautiful woman. If you do that, that's the end of your political career. But I've never had, you know, I mean, women sort of like it, but you can't do it because we have to remain a politician for 4 more years to straighten out this mess that these stupid people have given us. No, they want you to be very politically correct. And, well, they picked her because they wanted to be politically correct. She was the least qualified person. You had 12 other people, and she was number 13. In every poll, if he got out, but it should have been his decision. You know, he goes through and he gets these 14 million votes. It should have been his position. I don't know how you can just take it away. They really, think of it. This is a famous moment in our country's history. They went in and they said, you're out, to the President of the United States. They said, we're taking your presidency away. He said, no, you're not. He said, yes, we are. And by the next day, he said, yes, you are. They said something. But they went in and they took his presidency away from him like taking candy from a baby. It's really wrong when you think about it. I mean, what's the purpose of the primaries? And it was very shortly after he got the nomination, you know, not talking about a long period of time. And they should have done it. Or if they were going to do that, they should have held another primary and let 20 people run. And if she could run too. But they just had it because they wanted to be politically correct, right? And it's a very bad thing for our country, although I happen to probably think of all of the people, she would be my first choice to run against. So I shouldn't be complaining. But I do complain because, you know, as they say, they're a threat to democracy. You know, they say that about me. They always say, Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. He has promised to go after his political opponent and put them in jail. He's terrible. He's promised to put them in jail. That's what they're doing to me. Okay? That's what they're doing to me. Right? Did you hear these people? This stupid woman, she's saying, he has said that he's going to put people in jail and he's going to go after this one and that one. I won't mention their names. But he's going to go after them, put them in jail. And I said, how stupid. That's exactly, I had like 20 calls. She's talking about this. That's what they're trying to do to you. They're trying. But we're going to be very successful. You know, we won the big case in Florida, right? We won a lot of them. They're scammers. As we rescue our economy, I will also restore our borders. Again, I believe the borders are the single biggest problem that this country's had in 100 years because they're disturbing our country. They're really disturbing. What they've done to our country is not even thinkable. Over the past 4 years, Kamala has orchestrated the most egregious betrayal that any leader in American history has ever inflicted upon our people. There's never been anything like this. Again, murderers, drug dealers, gang members, people from mental institutions, the worst people, criminals of all kind. Venezuelan crime is down 72%. Our crime is through the roof. Tell David Muir, he's a real stiff, what a dope. Tell David Muir that he was wrong when he said, well, American crime is down. Because I said crime is up, it's through the roof. I turned out to be right the following day. Tell David Muir our crime is through the roof, and the migrants are causing a lot of it. But she's violated her oath of office. She's eradicated our sovereign border and unleashed an army of gangs and criminal migrants from prisons and jails, from insane asylums, and mental institutions. You know, when I say insane asylums and then I say Dr. Hannibal Lecter, does anybody know? They go crazy. They say, oh, he brings up these names out of, well, that's genius, right? Dr. Hannibal Lecter. There's nobody worse than him. Silence of the Lambs. Who the hell else would even remember that? I have a great memory. But they always hit me. I don't bring it up too much because I have to take such a... He brought up Hannibal Lecter. What does that have to do with this? What is it? It has everything to do with it, right? That's who we're allowing into our country. And we don't want to allow that into our country. So I've done something for you that I haven't done in 20 speeches. I brought up Dr. Hannibal Lecter, and we're allowing him in our country. You watch these fake people. They'll say, again, he brought up Hannibal Lecter. It has absolutely nothing to do. You know, I do the weave, right? The weave, it's genius. You bring up Hannibal Lecter. You mention insane asylum, Hannibal Lecter. You go out. Now, there'll be a time in life where the weave won't finish properly at the bottom. And then we can talk. But right now, it's pure genius. Hey, I have an uncle, my uncle, Uncle John, my father's brother. 41 years at MIT, longest serving professor, has so many degrees, he didn't know what the hell to do with them all in the most complicated. I understand a lot of this stuff, you know, I believe in that. Like, I mean, Jack Nicklaus is not going to produce a bad golfer, right? You know, that's the way it works. It's just one of those things, and it's in the family, and it's whatever, but we have to save this country. We better save this country. And the biggest problem we have, one of the biggest problems is them, because if we had an honest and honorable press, my job would be so much easier. It'd be so much easier. They have forced so many good people out of politics. That's a shame. So many great people have been forced because of them. They're bad people, but they're going to get better. They've lost a lot of credibility. You know, when I first started, they had a 92% or a 93% approval rating. Now they have lower than Congress. The fake news has a lower rating than Congress. How do you get lower than that? But these criminals come from Venezuela, from the Congo, stealing countless American lives. People are coming from countries you've never heard of. 181 countries this year so far are represented. Many of these countries you've never heard of. Today I want you to hear directly from an incredible mother who I met a week ago, whose world has been totally shattered by Kamala Harris's open border. How stupid it is. Her open border. Please watch.
Sunday night, I asked her to not stay up super late because her coming to work with me in the morning first to do her summer school. She said, okay. I told her good night and I love you. I went to bed, not realizing that that was going to be the last time I saw her.
We're best friends. Yeah.
We're going to shake it again.
I woke up to notice she wasn't in her bed. I'm in my heart trying not to lose my mind because I don't know where she is. I finally remembered her phone had a location on, and her phone was pinging just 2 minutes down the road, right behind the skate park. I start driving to the direction the phone was being pinged at, and I see a couple cop cars with lights on. I see yellow tape, and immediately my heart drops and sinks to the bottom of my stomach.
Thank you very much. I mean, how sad is that? A couple of days old, shot a couple. Everybody that's seen it, I mean, I saw very strong people. I saw some very strong he-men, very tough guys crying like hell when they read it and saw it. But you have many, many cases like that. And then you have other forms of murder, too, with guns and being run over with cars and trucks. Many, many forms of crime are being committed by very dangerous people that have been allowed to come in. Don't forget, these countries are very smart. I know almost all of the heads are very smart. They're very streetwise. They want to get their prisoners out. They don't want to take care of them. It's expensive, so expensive. They want to get the criminals off the street. They have no place to put them. But now, with the open border, as soon as it happens, I told you at meetings in North Carolina, I said, if they do open border, every country from all over the world, they're going to be dropping their prisoners into this country. And their criminals in the street. That's why the crimes are down all over the world. They're down. Think of it. They come from as far away. The Congo has a rough prison system, a system that makes ours look like it's Trump International Hotel. No, it's a rough system, and they're taking them out of that system. Think of the money they save, not having to take care of somebody for 50 years or whatever it may be. And all of the countries are covered, and all of the continents are covered. 180 or 181 countries. Can you imagine that? And then you see something like what happened with Jocelyn, or what happened with Lake and Riley, what happened with so many others, far too many to even discuss. But this was a woman I met when I got the endorsement from Border Patrol. That's when I met her. She was such a nice woman. I said, so what happened to my daughter? And I guess they came and took her out of her room or something. It's not even believable. So when you vote on Tuesday, vote in honor of Jocelyn and Lake and Riley and Rachel Morin and every American who's been stolen from us. Maybe you vote in honor of the 325,000 missing children. Think of that. Who would even believe it could be like that? 325. And they're responsible. Just like they pulled the trigger of a gun, they're responsible for that. The day I take the oath of office, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins. In Ohio, a small town of 3,000 people has just been besieged. So you have 3,000 people, and it's just been besieged by an influx of 3,000 illegal aliens from a country 6,000 miles away that doesn't speak the language and that nobody ever heard of. And the town is like, what do we do? And you know Springfield also in Ohio. Springfield has 50,000 people, and they dropped 30,000 people into Springfield, Ohio. Now, the hospitals are a disaster. The schools are a disaster. And on top of everything else, it's a very troubled country that they come from. Tough country, tough. But on top of everything, they don't speak the language. And the mayor's a nice man, and he wants to go and help, and he doesn't know what to do. And all he's doing is looking for interpreters. Think of it. No, you have to move them out. You have to move them out. You can't do this to our country. And this is happening all over the country, all over our country. Actually, and to a certain extent, the world. But the world doesn't let people come in like we do. We let people just come in. We're run by very stupid people. They're low IQ people, very low IQ. She is. If Kamala is reelected, every town in America would be turned into a squalid, dangerous refugee camp. That's what's happening. The United States is now an occupied country, but it will soon be an occupied country no longer. On November 5th, 2024, this will be Liberation Day in America. It's going to be Liberation. On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered. These towns have been invaded and conquered, no different than a military invasion, except they don't wear uniforms. That's probably the only difference. And I would say they're probably much more violent, much more vicious. And we will put these bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country. We have to do that. And to expedite removals of Tren de Aragua and other savage gangs, I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to target and dismantle every migrant criminal network that's operating on American soil. Think of how far back we have to go, 1798. Who would think that? Because they ran it tough then, but sometimes you have to run it tough. And if they come back into our country, which they want to try and do, and which they'll probably be successful in doing, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. And I am hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or law enforcement officer. Have no choice. And I will immediately ban all sanctuary cities in the United States of America. Sanctuary for criminals. Despite all of the damage that Kamala has caused, she spent the final week of her campaign comparing her political opponents to the evil, the most evil people, mass murderers, all of us. Then Joe Biden called, and he said that we're garbage. We're all garbage, remember? Remember Hillary deplorable, right? I actually said they're deplorable and irredeemable. And I said, oh, she made a terrible mistake. That word irredeemable to me was worse. Actually, it was worse than deplorable. But that one didn't get picked up, Tim. That one didn't get picked up. It was deplorable. It was deplorable that got picked up. And how did that work out for Hillary? Not too good. But garbage is a hell of a lot worse, I think, than deplorable, right? Garbage. We're garbage. My response to Joe and Kamala is very simple. You can't lead America if you don't love Americans. Very easy. And you can't be president if you hate the American people. And they have to be hating us. Everything Kamala says is a lie. Her entire campaign is one hoax and slander after another. But the only way to stop the lies is to swamp them with your votes. You got to do that on Tuesday. Kamala has no vision, no ideas, and no solution. All she ever talks about is Donald Trump.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight I will speak about Donald Trump. 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 Trump.
Thank you. Thank you very much. There are some people who thrive under pressure, and there are some people that crack, and you got to see her. She's not looking good. I watched her news conference. It was bad. If Kamala can't handle an interview with Joe Rogan, then she can't handle the presidency, and she certainly can't handle Putin and President Xi of China. She will get overwhelmed, a meltdown, and millions of people will die, perhaps. And this is not a charity event. This is an election for the biggest and toughest job anywhere in the world. This is the toughest job in the world, they say. I think probably is. Do you want to lose your life savings because we put a weak and foolish woman in the White House? No. Do you want to lose your job and maybe your house and your pension because Kamala has the economic understanding of a child? That's what it is. If you would have heard her speaking a couple of days ago, she had no idea what she was, like I tell you, these things we're doing. She has no idea what the hell she's talking about. Would you trust Kamala Harris to talk to Russia or China and talk them out of a war? Think she'll talk them out of a war? I don't. She'll talk them into a war. By the way, you know, she went and dealt with the Russian situation with Ukraine, and she was solely responsible. She went in, they put her there 3 days before Putin invaded. She was nearby someplace. She had big meetings with Russia. They invaded 3 days after the meeting, and that's fact, all fact. I give you only fact because I have all these people. If it's anything less than fact, for instance, I tell them, I look at them in the eye, and I say that this is the greatest political movement in the history of our country. There has never been anything close. There has never been anything close. I tell the story about Pat Buchanan. A lot of you know Pat Buchanan. He's a great old-timer, a good guy, too. But he came in second in the New Hampshire primary, right? And it was such a big event that he had a whole, 50-year career, great career, as a pundit. He was on television because he came in second in one primary in New Hampshire. We won 50 primaries, and then we went on to win the election, and then we did even better the second time. But we're going to do much better the third time, because the first time and the second time, there were nothing like. Look at this. This is supposed to be a quick little stopover. Let me pay my respects to this nice part of North Carolina, and you got 20,000 people. No, this is the greatest political movement, and let me give you a little information. If we win on Tuesday night, and I do hope they're going to call it on Tuesday night. You know, you spend all that money on machines. For 8% of the cost, you could have paper ballots and have real security, and one-day voting, voter ID, identification of the country. In other words, it would be okay. We'd like to have, identification that you're a citizen of the United States of America. But voter ID, how about Gavin Newsom? Did you see what he did? They passed a bill in California where you are not allowed to even ask anyone. Not only don't you have to have voter ID, if you work for the state, if you work for anybody, no matter who you are not allowed to even ask anybody for voter ID. I don't think we'll pass that in North Carolina. No? Fellas, no? I don't think that you guys are going to pay. We got a lot of the big shots from North. I have a feeling that won't be before your legislature too soon, right? No, but think of that. May I see your voter ID, please? Arrest him! The only reason they do that is because they want to cheat. There's no other reason. They want to cheat, and they do cheat. They cheat like hell. That's why we say too big to rig. Nothing is more dangerous than to give immense power to a very weak, incompetent, and low IQ person like Kamala. She's a low IQ person. She can't. I'm not allowed to say that. A lot of wisecracks from the peanut gallery over here, Mr. Chairman. A lot of wise guys. You ought to figure these guys out. They could be good speechwriters, actually. At the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, can you afford to put someone this incompetent in charge of our country's future? And on top of it all, Kamala says she would not do one thing differently. I would not do one thing differently from Joe Biden. Now think of this. That means she's disqualified from running for president. Take a look.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
Would you have done something differently?
Criminal enterprise in apartment complexes.
Were you the last person in the room? Yes.
So if you want to end this disaster, you have to get out and vote. So important. Get everybody, get friends, get your friends, drag them in. You have some people there. They're couch potatoes, get them off the couch. We're pleased to be joined today by Congressman Dan Bishop, a great guy. Thank you, Dan. Good. Good luck. How's the race going? Good? Mr. AG, right? That's good. He's running for Attorney General. He has my complete and total endorsement, by the way. He's been a great congressman. I was there at the beginning, right? That first day, that was an interesting one, but you've been a great congressman. Now he's running for Attorney General. And I think he'll go pretty much the opposite of what we're talking about here, right? Some of these stupid policies. A great gentleman, a friend of mine. He's been your speaker, and he is really a good speaker. And he's sitting here marking down all the stuff that he's watching. And he says, we're going to do just the opposite. We will do the opposite of no asking for, right? Can you imagine a thing like that? If you ask for voter ID, they criminally punish you. So I think Tim Moore, North Carolina Speaker, I think he's going to. I have a feeling he's got a lot of good notes. You're doing a great job. Thank you, Tim, very much. Appreciate it. Congressional candidate Pat Harrigan, who's doing very well. He's a handsome dude. That's not good. This guy's central casting. Dan, we need a couple of guys that look like that, right? Good. Good luck. I heard you're doing really well. Good. Great job. Secretary of State candidate Chad Brown. Thank you, Chad. Good luck. The RNC chairman, who you know very well. So, I mean, I'm not going to say he has done a great job, but if we don't win, then I'm going to call him up and say, you did a shitty job. But I think we're going to win. RNC chairman Michael Watley. It's great. Great guy, too. I want to thank Laura Trump. She's incredible. You know what she is? In another part of the state campaign, she says, Dad, listen, I got a campaign. She'd love to hear it, but she's heard it before. And she said, I just want a campaign. But she loves your state, and she's great. And we couldn't do better. And the partnership of these two people has been amazing. North Carolina GOP Chair Jason Simmons. And what a job. Are we doing good? Are we doing good? Good. Feel good about Tuesday, right? That's good, Jason. We have a lot of respect, a lot of confidence, too. Somebody that's been a friend of mine for a long time, an incredible attorney general for a long time, believe it or not. You look at her, she looks so young, but she's been in Florida, and she was tough and smart, but she was also very fair. Pam Bondi, thank you very much, Pam. Thank you, Pam. What a good job she does. She's very deceptive. You look and you say, I wonder, is she tough? Oh, she's tough. She's scary tough, but she's fair, right? Thank you very much, Pam. Beautiful job. And one of the great developers of our country, he's a friend of mine, he was very generous with North Carolina. You know, we were the first ones down here, and I couldn't take my plane because it was a little large for the runway. I think he will always be there with his plane. And we flew down, and he's a very successful guy. He wrote a big, fat, beautiful check. We gave it to Franklin. How good is Franklin Graham? We gave it to Franklin Graham. And his name is Steve Witkoff, wherever he may be. Steve, one of the most successful businessmen in the country, and thank you. Very generous guy, too. He was very generous in Butler, and whenever he sees something, he says, that's okay. That's what I do it for. I think that's why he becomes successful. He loves doing it. Thank you very much, Steve. We appreciate it. And we raised about $7 million for your fund, and we put a lot of it into Franklin. We gave it to some of the best people that do this, and I'm very honored to have done it. And I'll tell you what, they're doing an incredible job. The problem is you're not getting any help from the federal government at all. And you can do something about that on Tuesday. You just remember, because they say, and I think they mean this 100%, it's the worst job since Katrina, and it may be worse than Katrina. And in all fairness, as I said before, they don't have a lot of money because they've spent the money on things that I don't think they're supposed to be spending the money on. So I just want to let you know, but you have some incredible people working on it, and been amazing. And when I was there, I couldn't believe it, what I saw. Houses just ripped out of the foundations. The foundations were ripped out. I'd never saw anything like it. It looked like a tornado, but much wider. You know, tornado goes like a knife, right? I've seen it where it goes right through the forest. I went to so many different tragedies. If you're in the way of those suckers, it's over. And I've seen where tornadoes go straight, and they may only be 15 or 20 yards wide, but if you're in that path, it is over no matter what. Big trucks, 18-wheelers, turned upside down and found 100 yards down the road. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. And sort of this was a combination. This was water, tremendous water. We've never seen water like that, and the destruction was unbelievable, but it was very wide. It was almost the entire, it went to the tip of Florida. That didn't get hit the same way, but you people got hit the hardest probably, and we're going to really help you a lot. In just a couple of months, we're going to really help you out a lot, okay? Thank you. I also want to send our prayers to everyone here in North Carolina who's receiving and recovering from Hurricane Helene. That was a brutal thing. Just yesterday, it was reported that under Kamala, almost 50% of phone calls to FEMA for the disaster aid were unanswered. Nobody's answering the calls. They're not there. I'll tell you what, I've been there. I haven't seen one federal official. I haven't seen one FEMA person. And I'd asked the people that were devastated, and I'll tell you the most incredible thing. So I didn't want to say it. You always think it, but you don't want to say it. I said, wow, this is going to be devastating for the election, right? But then I said, but I don't care about that right now. I care about helping the people, which I mean. But here's the most amazing stat, and Michael would tell you, I thought if we got 50% of the vote from North Carolina, it would be great. If we got, which is bad for me because this was largely like a Trump-type area, people that have our values, our policies, et cetera, et cetera. This was really, and I would have been happy with 40 or 50%. Nobody had any idea. Then it starts, as you know, the early voting. And up till today, it's just about over with the early voting, you broke the all-time record for voting. Can you believe it? Right? Now, who would have thought that? I mean, you have people with no houses. You have people, many people died. They were missing. Missing is bad, real bad in the case like this with his water like that. But they were missing. Some will never be found. But who would think that you broke the all-time record? That means you people are incredible. The heart, it's incredible. When I heard that, I said, I don't believe it, but it is an amazing place. I will get you the help that you deserve. But here are the facts on Kamala. She's a radical left Marxist, rated even worse than crazy Bernie Sanders or Pocahontas. Do you know Pocahontas? She destroyed our economy. She was an original creator of defund the police movement, and anybody who wants to defund the police for even 1 week is not worthy of being the President of the United States of America. Kamala vowed to abolish ICE. She pledged to confiscate your guns. Would anybody like to give Kamala their gun? Please raise your hand. We'll pick it up immediately. So crazy. And endorsed a total ban on handgun ownership that you've never seen anything like it. And by the way, her crime rates were through the roof. Do you know that Chicago has the strongest gun laws by far in the United States? And look what's happening in Chicago. She even called for free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention at taxpayer expense. And perhaps most importantly of all, she lied about working at McDonald's. She never worked at McDonald's. So in conclusion, with your vote this November, we are going to fire Kamala and we are going to save America. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and bring thousands and thousands of factories back to America and back to North Carolina. And we're going to bring those furniture guys back. Some of them are a little older now. Tell them to get ready. They're going to have some good years left. We will build American. We will buy American. We will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine, which would have never happened if I was president. I will stop the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III. We're very close to World War III. Very, very close. We will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military. We will build a missile defense shield, the biggest one anywhere. We're going to build it over our entire country, and a lot of it's going to be made right here in North Carolina. Made in the USA. Going to be made in the USA. We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And we will put in a bill that if you burn our flag or destroy our flag in any way, it's 1 year in prison. Right? They say it's not constitutional. We're going to have to check that, Tim. They say it's not constitutional. I just think it's crazy. But we are going to do it. We're going to try and get that done. But they do say that, and I don't know. I don't know whose definition that is, but I think I do. We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And we will keep men out of women's sports. I will defend religious liberty. I will restore free speech, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms, your Second Amendment, which is under. After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders, and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country, defend our borders, and protect our citizens. And we will stop illegal immigration once and for all. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and hope and the American dream. We're going to bring back the American dream. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda with a landslide that is just too big to rig. So you have to get out. You have to get out and vote. I'll tell you what. A couple of days, Tuesday, you got to just wake up, and no matter what the hell you're doing, there's nothing that you can do more important. You want to take care of your house. This is more important. You won't own your house anymore. You gotta get out. You gotta vote, because our country is being destroyed. Our country is under siege from the radical left lunatics, and we can't let it happen. You have to get out. For the past 9 years, we have been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces on earth. With your vote this election, you can show them once and for all that this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and 3 days from now, it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. You're going to save it. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. That's true. This is so important. This is the most important election you've ever voted in, and I really believe it potentially is the most important election we've ever had. With your help from now until Election Day, we will restore America's promise, and we will bring back the nation that we love. We're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back fast, too. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never, ever back down, and we will never, ever, ever surrender. Together, we will fight, fight, fight. We will win, win, win. We will vote, vote, vote. Thank you very much. That's what we have to do. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. RFK Jr. is going to be in charge of that. Is that good? He'll be in. I said, Bobby, just leave the liquid gold alone. Let me handle that. Just leave me alone with the liquid gold. We're going to pay off so much debt and lower your taxes. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you, North Carolina. God bless you all. God bless you. Thank you, fellas. Good luck, Dan. Good luck.
All right, so that was Gastonia. We only have 2 more left for today. From here, Trump is leaving Gastonia, North Carolina, and then he's heading to Salem, Virginia. The Salem, Virginia rally was supposed to, I say supposed to, start at 4 p.m. Now, let me just fill you in. It is now 2:33. That ain't gonna happen. Gastonia, even in his nice, pretty big jet, is still going to be 45 to an hour away from Gastonia. That doesn't count how long it takes his motorcade to get from Gastonia to whatever airport they're going to, then to get cleared, then to take off, then to land, then to park, then the motorcade there to drive to Salem, then to have the other speakers, and blah, 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 blah. So we're probably looking at, as he's dancing, we're probably looking at minimum 5 p.m. for the Gastonia rally, 5 p.m. So what I'm going to do, going to monitor things, so it may get bumped to 5:15. You're going to want to tune in because at 5:15 I'm going to tell you all about our gold giveaway and the plans for Tuesday night. When I say gold giveaway, every time a state gets called for Trump, we're going to give away these. This is a gold coin and this is a silver bar. Both of these are from Lear Capital, and we're going to be giving them away. You wouldn't believe what this is worth right now. But in any event, we're going to be giving those away. I'm going to tell you about it, and we're going to have some fun on Tuesday night. So let's plan on 5-ish, 5:15, play it by ear. I'll have another news-oriented pre-show, as I've been doing lately. I've been doing these pre-shows because I'm trying to get you guys to see where I'm headed once the rallies are done. Once these rallies are done, I am going to be moving over as Trump is leaving the building. I'm glad he went quickly today. He expedited his departure, so he's got to get on a plane. These things must be a logistical nightmare for him. But what we're going to be doing is I'm going back to my live show every single night, Monday through Friday, at 7 p.m. It'll probably be, I'd say, hour and a half each night covering everything. But when he wins, and notice I said when he wins, I am still going to cover everything. Unlike Dementia Joe and Raggedy Andy that does the press conferences right now, I'm pretty sure once Trump wins, he's going to set up a studio or something in Mar-a-Lago, and he's going to be having regular updates. This man, as you see, is not shy from the camera. He's going to want the public to know this is what's coming next, this is what's coming next. As well, one of the things we're going to have to figure out, and he's going to tell everybody, is what to expect from November 6th until inauguration. Shit's gonna hit the fan. I'm just telling you right now. I posted a picture earlier of Robin. She was up early this morning canning some stuff, making sure she's got half the garage is full of prep stuff. I mean, literally half the garage. I bet you if everything shut down tomorrow, we're probably good for about 3 months. I mean, she's done that kind of work. It started with the hurricane stuff, but now she's also advanced it, and we're good. We're good. Party at Barry's if the shit hits the fan, or when the shit hits the fan. So anyway, that being said, the new stuff is gonna basically carry me where I'm going moving forward. I put a poll up, and thankfully, the poll's got at this point 1,248 votes, and 96% of you are down with the news show. The other 4%, they might be trolls or I don't know. I can't speak for them. Thanks for voting, thanks for participating, and thanks for watching the rallies. So, I think we're going to have a ton of stuff to talk about moving forward past Tuesday night, because we may not even know if they're going to declare the winner on Tuesday night. I don't know what these people are up to. We have no idea what's in store. I know Jamie Raskin is running around talking a lot of crap, saying he's going to do this and do that. Let's deal with that when it happens. So right now, let's give away some hoodies. What do you guys think about that? How about we go with 3 hoodies? Let's put Ashley to work and give away 3 hoodies right now. You ready for this? All right. Hoodie number 1. drum roll, boom, oops, one or more of your winners cannot be chosen because there are not enough prizes left to allocate. So I got to get in here and I got to put in more prizes. That's the first thing I got to do because we ran out, and oh, there I got to go. All right, so let me just change this to this and save and publish. Go back to let's draw the winner and get you guys back here. All right, here we go. Bam. Nancy Pratt. Nancy Pratt, you just won a hoodie. Not sure where you are. Ashley or April will be reaching out to you to get your size and mailing address and all that kind of stuff. So if you see Ashley emailing you, or if you see an email coming from April, they're not spam. They're contacting you for sizes and address to mail stuff to you. All right, next. And you got to go back in here, click it again, and the next winner, Wayne with a period, Wayne Spence. You are the second winner of a free Trump hoodie. Congratulations. And you only have to enter once, because here's what the system does. If you've won, it pulls you out. If you haven't won, it keeps you in there, so you're good. Well, let's go with one more. And boom, shakalaka, boom. Vince Hernandez. So, ew, interesting. 2 guys today and 1 lady. 2 guys and 1 lady. I'm good with that. Congratulations, you guys win a Trump hoodie. When he wins on Tuesday, it's getting cold. Most of the country down here is kind of hot for a hoodie, even though it's not that bad. We're going to get some days in December that you can throw a hoodie on. But, you know, wear it with pride. You earned it. You definitely earned it. He earned it. He wants you guys supporting him. I want you supporting him. And so now let's look at some super chats and acknowledge the fine people who supported me. All of you are supporting me by watching it. So, just real quick, the censorship stuff. I just try to give you a little bit of information on the back end of what goes on here. And I don't mean to bog you down, and I'm not doing any sob story. I'm just trying to let you know on the front end when you see something that has to be overlaid, so something else, or I got to talk, it's because I've already been told. So I can't, nor will I speak for other YouTubers. I don't know what their reps say to them. Well, I kind of do. But I know what they say to me. And I am not going to risk a business that we've built just because of a video they don't like. Sorry, they hate RFK Jr. Absolutely loathe RFK Jr. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know if you guys have basically paid attention, but the New York Times, in conjunction with Media Matters, just launched a kill shot. They went after a bunch of people. Benny, they went after Charlie Kirk, they went after Dave Rubin, Ben Shapiro, a whole bunch of people. A lot of us are like, okay, YouTube, what you gonna do? Are you going to cave to this crap, or you're just going to tell New York Times to go pound sand? Me, personally, I think when Trump wins, a lot of stuff is going to change. A lot. Including here. I think at that point they're going to go, all right, we tried our best. We tried to help Dementia Joe and Kamala, but it didn't work, so we're done. If somehow they install her, they're going to see a lot of people get vaporized. I'm just telling you. Elon Musk will be there with arms wide open, and he'll be the one taking all the arrows at that point, because I know Zuckerberg's already doing stuff on Facebook and Instagram, and if Kamala is installed and they cheat and put her in, it's going to be a purge. It's going to be just an outright purge. So be prepared for it. We're trying to. People have mentioned go to Rumble. Rumble's great. I like what they're doing. I'm going to be talking to those guys. I think on Monday or Tuesday, but they gotta do a couple things to make it worthwhile. Okay, so let me put this in. All right, let me go to the top. Am I at the top? Let me just make sure. Yeah, I'm at the top. All right. Heather Munoz, howdy from H-Town. Love our patriot, God-fearing community. Thank you very much. Big Cat Brother, how you doing? Thank you for hosting and grinding on Barry. You're the best. Man, I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't, for some reason, gets out of politics, Don Jr. and Eric, they need to do like Don energy drink and Don vitamin supplements because, oh my God, 1 o'clock last night, I got up this morning going, I got to get up here. I got to do it. I got to put all this together. Got to start doing all the production. Get ready. And only thing I think to myself is, he's 78. He's 78, and I just need to walk down the hall, around the corner, set up, sit my butt in this chair. This man's got to get dressed. He's got to deal with security. He's got to eat. He's got an entire entourage. He's got to go with... Go do your thing, man. That's what it is. Democrats have no honor. Oh, Donna, she's referring to probably the pre-show with these actors. Sad. No name again. Just get out and vote. Club 1852, thank you very much. Proud MAGA garbage family, and we can't wait for the Trump wins party. Thank you for all you do, Barry, and the mods. Thank you very much. No name, once again, RFK Jr., Maha MAGA. Absolutely. I don't know why they hate, well, I guess I know why. The amount of money that Big Pharma must just dole out to people all over the place. And that's some real easy money probably. And they know what's coming. No name again. First Amendment speech is so important. Maryland, please wake up. I'm not trash. I'm looking for a real woman. You're advertising for a date. Please vote, vote, vote. You're funny, no name. Gina Duncan, I'm here for your content. I trust you and your mods, and I will watch you on any platform. You are a genuine, honest, godly man. I thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for saying that. Debbie, Coos Bay, Oregon. Debbie, what's going on up in Oregon? I'm hearing that there's long lines and people are voting Trump in Oregon, and they're getting ready up in Washington for the Antifa nut jobs to riot because he may win Washington and Oregon? Is that true? Whew, man. No name again. Rock State Park, Harford County, Maryland for Trump. Look it up. God's County. Where is that? Is that down by Salisbury State? Salisbury State, near Bowie. I'm familiar with Baltimore and everything around the Inner Harbor and Towson. I don't know where Harford County is. The Anthill. Thank you for everything, Team Barry. We are happily a part of the Fanfare family. Do you have plans of bumper stickers? Oh, you're going to talk to Ashley about that. She might come up with something. Oh, by the way, somebody said that there's an imposter inside the comments with my name or whatever. God forbid there'd be two of me running around. But if the mods can find that person, I can bounce them. Just let me know. But, if you ever have someone say, hey, click here or do this, and they say they're me, there's like 7 people you can ask and say, was that really Barry? But then again, I can tell you right now, I don't ever, never, ever ask anybody to click a link in comments. Nope. Every time I give away something, I give it away live. So if somebody's saying, click here for your prize or any of that kind of crap, don't click. If anyone says, go here and find out that, don't go. I barely even answer many of the comments because I've been focusing on the live videos, and that's, we talk during the live videos, but the replay, I don't really go through those as much. So ignore those. BLQ24, from one Barry to a very cool Barry, thank you for sharing your work here for the information, and the only way the dumbs can win is to cheat. Yep, absolutely. No name again, brother. Pammy, no name. X, everyone feel free to hit me up on Trump posts. Love Barry. Make sure you get a no name. Jump in the community. I'm getting a post here. No imposter in your channel. She was referring to a reply to a post she made on YouTube. She's not even on X. Okay, the woman was mistaken. Patras, did any of these coward Hollywood... You almost got me to say that. Condone July... No, they don't say anything about July 13th. They're communists, and they're hiding, and they must be on the brink of some really bad... J-Lo. We've seen the pictures, girl. We've seen the pictures. They're not flattering. What were you thinking? And I have to say this. If you've been married 28 times, maybe you're not that good. You're not marrying material. Maybe you needed the Puff Daddy parties because, damn, girl, how do you get... something's wrong, if guy or girl, if you got to get married 18 and a half times. I mean, after doing it a couple times myself, if it didn't work out with Robin, ain't happening no more. No, I just tell you that right now. I'm done. So, and she stuck with me. I ain't going nowhere. So, hair, warts, everything. That's it. Last bus in the station. We've been married 33 years. Had the ups and downs, and right now we're doing well. And if for some reason something didn't work out, nope, not getting on a bus again. Whereas J-Lo keeps getting on these buses, and then gets kicked off the bus over and over again. So I don't think she was the right person to pull up on stage, is what I'm saying. Let's see here. Where did I go here? I skipped a whole bunch. Okay. Petras didn't know. Okay. Annie Mengel. Remember, he donated his 4-year salary to charity. Absolutely. To Barry, you are an inspiration. Speak out. Yeah, I will always speak up until they tell me I can't. I just another note. I don't understand why RSBN can post things that you want to post but are forbidden. RSBN has been very, very helpful to me. If you watch an RSBN feed, notice when they're doing their feed, even when they're showing the video, they're showing a bunch of sponsors, and the people on camera, they often are reading sponsors and talking about the sponsors. So what that means is certain videos that they may post, they may turn off monetization, meaning they're not getting paid from advertisers. So in that regard, you have a different kind of leeway. They may not like the content, but since you're not advertising, they let it go. So that's the Reader's Digest condensed version as to what you may be seeing. But suffice it to say, every person managing a YouTube channel understands the parameters of which they're broadcasting on. And it doesn't matter how big you are, doesn't matter how small you are. You have the same rules, and so you have to decide which way you're going to go. Are you going to go heavily sponsored, or are you going to go with ads? You know, sometimes people are like, oh, I just saw another ad. These ads are killing me. Well, those ads are because you don't have to pay to watch. You know, this isn't a cable subscription. This is me and my daughter and my wife and some mods, and you don't pay. It's free. So when you see the ads, chill. Plus, they'll go away a lot after November 6th. We have to fight for nothing without. So sad they want to hide the truth. Do what they have to do. Yep, got to do it. Sheila, thank you. Drew Pointer, well done. Go get a quick nap. You deserve it. I need a hamburger more than I need the nap right now. I slept really good. I'm just hungry. White Khadijah, can you do a highlight on Peanut the Squirrel? I'll do that at the if I have time for the 5:15 show. Please pray for revival to break out. The Bible says in the last days that we will do greater things than Jesus did. Thanks. I believe that. Barb Johnson, hey Barry, maybe it's silly, but is there a way to print chat? No, I can't. Can't always keep up. I would love to see what the fam is saying. Now, what I can do is I can make the chat available on replay, which it then has a scroll, and you can control the speed, but there's no way to print it. And finally, Brett Florin, Barry, let's have that party. I will bring the steaks. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. All right, everybody. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to shut down right now. We got 2 more today. We got 5:15, and we've got 7:30, which will probably end up being 8:15, depending on, I don't know how they booked this, why they went from Gastonia to Virginia back to North Carolina. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to Trump's people. I don't know who scheduled that. Why he just didn't do Gastonia to Greensboro and then over to Salem, Virginia. But now you're crisscrossing the state in logistical nightmare. Having planned concert tours, I'm like, who booked this? Who booked him at 11:30 or 12 o'clock in Gastonia, where you could have been basically in Greensboro right about now getting ready to do another one, and then you could have went to Salem tonight. But now you're going to go from here all the way over to Salem, and then back to North Carolina, and then back to Florida or wherever you're going to be tomorrow, which tomorrow is the same as today. 3 more tomorrow. I'm ready. Where's my little eye patch Robin gave me? I got my eye patch ready. Yeah, this thing, I got to put it back in the refrigerator, though, because it's got to get cooled off. This thing is pretty cool. It's like, it gets all the, it feels so good around your sinuses and your eyes and everything when it's cold. Right now, it's just kind of like lukewarm. Gotta keep that ready for my close up. You know, that's what we do on screen. Talk to you guys at 5:15 or so. Watch some football, get something to eat, hug the kids, kiss the wife. Let's go, baby.